all of you should stay attentive, should stay focused, and don't do multitasking. Multitasking is not allowed. You should completely focus in the session. Keep the interaction also going on in the chat. This is a live class. Make the best use out of this. How do you make the best use out of the live class? By asking questions, also by responding to the questions that I ask. So that is rule number 1. Stay focused, stay attentive. Multitasking is not allowed. Have your full attention in the class. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 for everyone is you should have a pen and paper along with you. You should note down important stuff. You should note down important stuff. If you can't arrange a pen and paper, at least whenever I am writing down important stuff, you should take a screenshot of that so that it can stay with you for longer. So that is rule number 2. Make notes somewhere. Rule number 2. Rule number 3 is you should attend the complete class to gain complete knowledge, because incomplete knowledge is very, very dangerous. What people tend to do is they tend to drop in between. They have only learned a few concepts, and once if they try to apply that, it does not work, because you need to have the full context, full knowledge. Only then you can practically apply things. All right, these are rule number 1, 2 and 3. Stay focused, stay attentive. Second, make notes, attend complete session. How many of you are agreed with these 3 rules? 1, 2 and 3. All right, great. We have some 1500 folks who have joined us today. Very, very excited to take the session today. I can assure you that it will be of maximum value. Acha, 2 things I want to make clear to all of you. First of all, I will be using the panel that you see behind me. My way of teaching is slightly old school. I will lay a lot of emphasis on concepts, on theory, on framework. Some people might feel it is boring, right? I will try to give as much examples as possible, as much use cases as possible. But the theory part, the framework part is important so that you can use AI in a better way. How many of you understand this? Only if you understand the theory, only if you understand the framework, only then you'll be able to use the AI. AI is just the tool. The platform is just the tool. How will you be able to interact with the tool? How will you be able to use the platform if you don't have knowledge? अगर आपके पास बिल्कुल नॉलेज नहीं है, कुछ भी अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं है, तो आपको प्लेटफॉर्म भी हेल्प नहीं करेगा. अच्छा, if I let's say give you an example of this. If tomorrow everyone gets Sachin Tendulkar's bat, सबको सचिन तेंदुलकर का बैट दे दिया जाता है, क्या सब लोग सचिन तेंदुलकर बन जाएंगे? No, because skills are also required. So first we will cover some theory part, some framework part, then we will go to the tool, and I will have a certain flow. That certain flow is required for all of you to develop context. तो आप बीच में impatient नहीं होना है. During the class you should not become impatient. That why are we not going towards AI? Why are we talking about theory part? You will have to have your mind open, absorb the theory, absorb the framework. Only then you will be able to make use of AI.
ये लोग पैसा लेते हैं हमसे ना तो
Everyone?
50,000 जो चीज बेची ना.
Great. As you can see, the class today is on multi-bagger investing using AI. I am going to cover the 3 keywords that are mentioned here. First, I'm going to talk about investing principles, investing frameworks. Then I'm going to talk about my own style of investing, which is multi-bagger investing, how I have been doing that. In fact, I will also show you my portfolio. I will also show you my portfolio. I will also show you my returns in the class today. And then we are going to talk about AI. and how AI can solve all the
पैसा
problems.
बरसी है
ठीक है?
ये ना
Great.
है भरा भरा भरा
As I
बरसी है
mentioned, this class is for
गवर्नमेंट
everyone,
टैक्स
for
तो की
business
है
owners, for working professionals, for
कोई ना
retired
रुक रही
folks,
है
and no
कोई
prerequisite
कंप्लेन
knowledge
ना है
is
कोई
required.
शिकायत ना चाहे इतना पैसा हुआ है
ठीक है? Great. Let me just shift to the
लामत पानी पिया तो पहले पी ले
panel and please confirm if the panel is visible to all of you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that you only and only focus on the panel. The panel is visible. Also, whatever I'm writing here, I have just written investing here. Whatever I'm writing is visible, right? It's visible. Great. ठीक है. Chalo, let's get started. Let's get started. In front of you, you see an exercise. You see a question. I always start off with this. Let's start off the class with this. In front of you, there's a question, very simple question. You see two companies on the board, on the panel, company A and company B. Both these companies are small cap companies in the EV sector. Small cap companies in the EV sector. You see some of the ratios, some of the metrics mentioned for these companies. I would want all of you to take a bet on one of these companies. You will have to pick up the winner for the next 5 years between company A and company B. I would want to see all of you participate in this. Look at the ratios, look at the metrics, choose the winner between these two companies for the next 5 years. For the next 5 years. B, company B, company B, company B. 90% of the people saying company B, some people in between saying company A. Company B is also understandable. It also looks commonsensical. Why? Because in most of the ratios, company B seems to be doing better. So P ratio, company B is doing better. Profit growth, company B is doing better. In fact, company A is having degrowth. ROC percentage, company B is doing better. Debt to equity, company B is doing better. Piotrowski score, it is the same. Operating profit margin, dividend payout, company B is better. Profit margins, company B is better. Only there is one metric where company A seems to be doing better. So overall, company B is winning. This seems to be winning. Right? So we will get to an answer to this question also. इस क्वेश्चन का हम आंसर भी निकालेंगे by, let's say, the objective of the session in fact will be to answer this question confidently. आप सब लोग इस क्वेश्चन को confidently आंसर कर पाए. But for doing that, we will have to cross multiple hurdles, multiple obstacles we will have to cross. बहुत सारी problems हमें solve करनी पड़ेंगी अपने लिए. The first problem that we have to solve is all of you should first develop an understanding of this. कितने सारे ऐसे लोग हैं, honestly tell me, how many people are there who don't have a complete understanding of these ratios? I am not talking about surface level knowledge. Surface level knowledge क्या होता है? मैंने सुना हुआ है ROC के बारे में, मैंने सुना हुआ है PE ratio के बारे में. मुझे चाहिए complete understanding. A complete understanding means you really know how this ratio impacts the business. What should be the threshold? How many people have a complete understanding, or how many people don't have a complete understanding of this? Most of the people don't have a complete understanding. Don't know anything. So the first hurdle, the first problem that we have to solve is this. We have to get an understanding of these ratios at least. That's the first problem. पहली problem तो यही है. चलिए ऐसा करता हूं मैं. We will come back to this question again after some time. But first, let's list down all the problems. All problems first list down. What are the different problems that retail investor faces? Right? There are exactly 5 problems or 5 hurdles that any retailer faces. We will look at these 5 problems and we will try to solve these problems with the help of AI and the frameworks that we learn. The first problem, जो पहली problem हमने discover की, is people don't have contextual understanding of the language of finance. लोगों को लैंग्वेज ही नहीं आती है फाइनेंस की. लैंग्वेज ऑफ फाइनेंस. What is the language of finance? Hundreds of ratios are there. Thousands of ratios are there. People also say you have to read annual reports. People also say you have to read P&L statements, cash flow statements, balance sheet, then credit rating reports, analyst rating reports, news, sentiment analysis you'll have to do, etc., etc. All these things is the language of finance. Yes or no? जब तक आपको किसी फील्ड की लैंग्वेज ही नहीं आती है, आप उस फील्ड में सक्सेसफुल कैसे बनेंगे? बन पाएंगे? No, right? So first you'll have to understand this. And people who say on YouTube, people often claim कि आपको सब कुछ याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है. People often give you a shortcut. They will try to sell you a shortcut. They will try to claim that you only need to remember 5 ratios, और इन 5 रेशियोज का 5 रेशियोज का आप एक स्क्रीनर क्वेरी बना लीजिए और उससे आपका काम चल जाएगा. राइट? ऐसा नहीं होता है. आप सब लोग खुद बताइए. If let's say 5 ratios were enough, what was the need of having the other 1000? Also, if investing was so simple, 5 ratios देख के ही हो जाता, why are all the legendary big investors spending their entire life, spending their entire career reading these annual reports, reading these P&L statements? Yes or no? Yes or no? बताइए. तो ये शॉर्टकट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है. ये सब इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, इसीलिए लोग पढ़ते हैं, इसीलिए पढ़ाया जाता है, इसीलिए लोग समझते हैं. Yes? That's the first thing. Let us say somehow you cross this hurdle. किसी तरीके से आपने ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर ली, आपने एमबीए कर लिया, कुछ पीएचडी इन फाइनेंस कर लिया. Let us say somehow you crossed it. Then there is a second problem. The second problem is investing के अंदर there are multiple sectors to be evaluated, multiple industries. Each sector will behave very differently. There will be different patterns, there will be different trends in each sector. जो रेशियोज फार्मा में काम करेंगी वो रेशियोज बैंकिंग में काम नहीं करेंगी. द रेशियोज व्हिच वर्क इन बैंकिंग विल नॉट वर्क इन आईटी. द वंस दैट वर्क इन आईटी विल नॉट वर्क इन केमिकल or in solar or in any other sector. Yes or no? People spend their entire life only and only specializing in one sector. And from a retailer it is expected कि आपको तो सब आना चाहिए, आप सारे सेक्टर्स एनालाइज कर लीजिए. कैसे होगा? Yes or no? Yes? Even if you are not typing yes or no, at least you can give a thumbs up. ठीक है? वो thumbs up से मुझे पता चल जाएगा that you are understanding. ठीक है? That is the second hurdle. Then there is a third hurdle. Let us say somehow you cross this hurdle, somehow you understood sectors also. Then the third problem is research of multiple companies will take a lot of time. Big issue, big problem. To analyze one business, it takes multiple hours. And there are more than 6,000 stocks. How do we get time? I can confidently say for everyone who's sitting in the class, there are 1800 people sitting in the class. I can confidently say this. Most of you can't spend more than 1 hour every week on investing. Yes or no? Most of you can't spend more than 1 hour every week. 1 घंटा भी हफ्ते का निकालना मुश्किल है, because all of you are doing part-time investing. You're not full-time investor. It's very difficult, right? Third problem. Then let us say somehow you gave time, somehow you did research also, right? Then there is a fourth problem. Fourth problem is, to invest, you need conviction. 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 अब conviction कहां से आएगी? Any company that you pick up, if you look at 10 numbers, if you look at 10 ratios, 6 will be positive, 4 will be negative. किसी कंपनी की क्वालिटी अच्छी है तो ग्रोथ नहीं है, ग्रोथ आ रही है तो वैल्यूएशन बहुत ज्यादा है, वैल्यूएशन ठीक है तो न्यूज खराब चल रही है. Is there any company that exists which is a perfect opportunity from all perspectives? Is there an opportunity? Is there a company that exists like that? No. That is why conviction becomes important. और आप में से कितने सारे लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है, with how many of you it has happened in the past that you were able to discover a great business but you did not invest in them? You were able to discover Bajaj Finance, you were able to discover Varun Beverages, you were able to discover Dixon, but you did not invest in those companies. Why? Because you did not have the conviction. You did not have the conviction. You let it go. Yes? पास्ट में कन्विक्शन, पास्ट को देख के कन्विक्शन तो बनाया जा सकता है कि हाँ तब तो मुझे अच्छी कंपनी लग रही थी, बट आपने इन्वेस्ट तो नहीं किया ना, राइट? Now, because of these 4 problems, there is a 5th problem also, which I'll come to. But because of the first 4 problems, retail investors in India, they are forced, they have no other option, they are forced to rely on tips. Tips from Telegram, tips from YouTube, because they have no other option. How do they do investing? How do they do smart investing? Yes? Correct or not? Yes or no? सबको पता है कि टिप से पैसा नहीं बनेगा, सबको पता है, आपको भी पता है, मुझे भी पता है, सबको पता है. आज तक कोई भी टिप से पैसा नहीं बनाया है. No one has earned money. No one has become a millionaire or a crorepati through tips. No one has. सिर्फ जो टिप्स देते हैं सिर्फ वही बनाते हैं, लेने वाला कभी नहीं बना है. Yes? But करें क्या? There is no other option because we will not be able to cross these hurdles. Right? Then there is a 5th problem also. Let us say somehow you got convinced that it is a great business. Conviction भी आ गई आपके पास. मान लीजिए you are sitting in 2018 and somehow you discovered Bajaj Finance and somehow you have conviction in Bajaj Finance. But you will still not be able to find the right entry time and the right exit time. Because even in a great business, if you enter at the wrong time, you still not make money. If you exit at the wrong time, you still not make money. Even in a great company. Yes or no? Yes? So timing also becomes important. In nutshell, there are 5 problems, 5 hurdles that we need to solve for doing smart investing, right? People who need to take a screenshot, they can take a screenshot of this. Okay? Now the objective will be to solve these 5 problems using AI. Or मैं commonsensically ही, if I ask all of you, how can AI solve these problems? If I ask you, will AI do a better job in understanding thousands of ratios compared to humans? Yes, AI will be able to do better here. Will AI be able to better understand different sectors, different patterns in each sector? Yes, AI इसमें भी help कर देगा. Will AI be able to help save time also? Correct. AI will be able to do research of multiple thousand companies in minutes. तो वो भी कर देगा. अच्छा, will AI be able to give me conviction? Let us put a question mark here. I don't know. You don't know. I will ask you this question by the end of the class. So keep this question in your head. Will AI be able to give me conviction? ये क्वेश्चन मार्क आप अपने पास रखिए. मैं एंड पे आपसे ही पूछूंगा ये. Are you now convinced that AI is giving you conviction? So let's put that question mark. I am giving you a teaser, but through AI you will also be able to get the right entry exit. ये भी solved है. ये भी solved है. ठीक है. So all the 5 problems will be solved by the end of the class. Got it? ठीक है. Now मैं आपको थ्योरी पढ़ाऊं, फ्रेमवर्क पढ़ाऊं, I'll teach you all that, then I will take you to AI. But all that will be of no use if eventually it is found that AI is not working. बाद में अगर यही एंड में निकले कि AI काम ही नहीं कर रहा है और AI मार्केट में कुछ करता ही नहीं है, रिटर्न्स ही नहीं आते, रिजल्ट्स ही नहीं आते, तो किसी काम का नहीं है. यस, तो सबसे पहले 5 मिनट उस पर लगा लेते हैं टू टेल यू वेदर इट इज वर्किंग और नॉट. Otherwise, you will not waste your time. Yes? All right? Let me show you whether the AI works or not. ठीक है? So we started building super investing AI in 2024. August of 2024 में हमने काम स्टार्ट किया था. Exactly 2 साल हो गए अब तो. जब हमने स्टार्ट किया, when we started building a solution for retail investors using AI, initially we started working on the existing platforms. We started working on Gemini, on Claude, on ChatGPT, on Perplexity. इन सब पे काम करना हमने पहले शुरू किया अगस्त 2024 में, अगस्त 2024 में. We started working on these platforms. We started building a solution on these platforms in August of 2024. Very soon, within a month or two, we realized there is a big problem with these platforms. What is the problem with these platforms? आप बताइए. Have you ever tried doing investing research using these platforms? क्या आपने ट्राई किया है कभी? What is the problems that you faced? क्या problems आपने देखी हैं? Some people saying hallucination, some people saying not tried, not used. All right, people who have tried, I'm asking, they confuse more. Okay, data and tokens is the problem. All right, no live feed of the market, true. No live data, true. Entry exit issue, okay. They always agree with us. सोनू कुमार सिंह जी ने बहुत अच्छा आंसर दिया है. No right prompts, okay, that is also a problem. Prompt writing is a problem. Data is not clear. API issues are there. Hallucination is there. Consistency is the problem. All right, ठीक है. So let me just lay down all the problems and you tell me whether you agree with these problems or not. The first and the biggest problem with these platforms is all of these are general purpose AI. General purpose AI. इसका क्या मतलब है? General purpose AI, and the objective is to give you a nice sounding answer in the chat. The objective is to please you in the chat. That's it. The objective is not to make returns in the market. It is not trained like this. इनकी ट्रेनिंग क्या मार्केट में रिटर्न्स बनाने के लिए हुई है? बताइए आप. नहीं, इनकी ट्रेनिंग हुई है टू गिव यू अ नाइस साउंडिंग आंसर इन द चैट. इसका मैं आपको एनालॉजी देके समझाता हूं. एनालॉजी देता हूं इसका. हाउ मेनी पीपल हैव हर्ड ऑफ दीज टूल्स? कोडेक्स, क्लॉड कोड, cursor, replit. How many people have heard of these tools? These are, what kind of tools are these? These are all Software development tools, software development AI tools. AI tools. Right? Now you tell me, if these were already existing, what was the need of having these? If these were already there, what was the need of having this? Because there is a specific use case for these tools, and that use case is coding, that use case is software development. If you create a tool with the objective set as software development, तो tool ज़्यादा अच्छा बनेगा, ज़्यादा अच्छा perform करेगा, because you will be able to do training of this, you will be able to do fine tuning of this, you will be able to set the objectives correct, right? So these are all special purpose AI, general purpose नहीं है, ये special purpose AI है. Yes, इसी तरीके से investing research के लिए general purpose AI does not work.
खाता था दूसरे में भेज दिया है तो वो ब्लॉक
should not work,
जितने में खाता पैसा
will not
वो
work.
ब्लॉक कर दिया 10 खाता में पैसा डाल दे तो ब्लॉक
All right, the first problem is this. There is a second problem. The second problem, and a big problem, is data, market data. Market data. See, these platforms are actually trained on the web, on the internet. Whereas on the internet, information, and that too limited information, is there only of large companies. All the other companies that are listed on the stock market, there is no information on the internet, there is no information on the web. For doing investing, you need 6,000 companies ka data. You need the last 10 years historical data. You need all the ratios, all the annual reports, all the con calls, and the live feed, all the news, everything you need specifically into the AI. That data is not there in these platforms. It is not there. It is missing. Right? A lot of times, if you ask a question to these tools, ये tools आपको ही बोल देंगे that you bring a data, you upload an Excel file. Yes or no?
They have. Hi. Love filing.
Yes. So that is a big problem. Now, because data is missing, sometimes that lead to hallucinations. Hallucinations. What is hallucination? Assumptions. Wrong assumptions. अगर आप पूछेंगे from ChatGPT or from Claude, is HDFC Bank a good bank to invest? And if in order to analyze any bank, it needs to look at ROE. अगर मान लीजिए ROE देखना है HDFC Bank का, अगर ROE होगा तो ठीक है, नहीं होगा तो वो assume कर लेगा, assume कर लेगा पुराने डेटा से कि इतना चल रहा होगा. Now do you tell me, can you do investing based on assumed data? You can't. No one can. No one should. So that's the second problem. There is a third problem also, which is consistency.
हमारे काम तो आदमी आ रहा, हमारे काम कर ये है, अब क्या उनका भगा दिया?
What is consistency? If 10 users ask the same question, is HDFC Bank good or ICICI Bank good? 6 out of 10 users, the answer will be HDFC. 4 out of 10 users, the answer will be ICICI. If in your previous charts, you have already mentioned that you are an employee at ICICI Bank, then it will try to please you. And it will always give the answer, ICICI Bank is the best bank in the world. Because the objective is to please you, to, let's say, retain you, retain your subscription. Correct? तो inherent biases भी हैं. Investing के अंदर आपको objectively accurate answer चाहिए. Yes or no? Objectively accurate answer चाहिए. and you really don't care about, let's say, the time it takes to do research. All these platforms are fine tuned to give you an answer within 30 seconds, within 10 seconds. Do you want the right answer in investing? Do you want the fast answer in investing? You want the right answer. Even if it takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you don't really care. 5 minutes, 10 minutes is fine. Right? Is this understood? ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. अब ये सारी की सारी प्रॉब्लम्स वी रियलाइज्ड, these three problems we realized, and that's why we took up a very very hard challenge. We took a challenge to build our own AI LLM. We built our own AI LLM for the purpose of investing in India. Investing specific AI LLM we built. खुद का बनाया, खुद का ट्रेन किया, खुद का फाइन ट्यून किया. Right? And all of you, as Indians, I think all of you should be feeling proud in the fact that we were able to build this AI LLM. And not only were we able to build, but we compared our AI to all the existing AIs. We published a research paper claiming that our AI is much, much better than this. We proved it in a research paper. We benchmarked it on different categories, and we proved our investing AI is better than all the other AI LLMs out there in the market. Right? Let me show you the research paper, and I want, as Indians at least, all of you should feel proud in the fact that me and my team were able to build this. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? Yes, right? All right, so this is the research paper that I'm talking about, published in March. It's been a couple of months. Now we benchmarked our AI with other LLM engines. You can see my name also as the first author and my team's name. I'm going to show you the PDF result.
I believe the screen is not visible. Yes, it is visible now.
Visible now?
No, Shisa, I believe the screen is not visible yet.
Visible here.
Yes, yes, it is now visible.
I think Abhinay, your internet is very slow, so it's not loading at your side. Yeah, so you can see the benchmark results also. The benchmark results also in 4 out of the 5 categories. 4 out of the 5 categories, which is valuation, depth, consistency. मैं आपको थोड़ा zoom करके दिखा देता हूँ. See this? Valuation depth के अंदर our tool was the first. Consistency के अंदर our tool was the first. Accuracy के अंदर our tool was the first. Only in data recency we were a very close second, just behind Perplexity, and even in completeness we were the first. How amazing is this?
Surely.
How amazing is this? We'll also share the research paper with all of you. How amazing, fantastic is this?
I know.
So not only were we able to build our own AI, we were also able to beat all the other AIs, leading AI models in the world. ठीक है? So this thing is proven कि हमारा platform, हमारा AI LLM works better than existing AI LLMs. Does that mean it works in the market? Does that mean you should start using it for investing? Does that mean it will give you returns in the market? No, right? That needs to be tested separately. Just being better than other AI LLMs does not make it work in the market, right? So for that, we did the real back testing also. We did real back testing of our AI. People understand what is back testing? सबको पता है back testing क्या होती है? Do people understand back testing? So back testing is simple. You basically take your system. That could be an algo, that could be a strategy, that could be an AI also. You take your system to the past. How do you take it to the past? You only feed past data and you cut off any exposure to the future data. Right? Based on past data, you ask it to perform. You ask it to create a portfolio. So that's what we did. 2015, we fed 2015 data and asked it to create a portfolio of 15 to 20 stocks. Then again in 2016 we did the same. 2016 for 2017 we did the same. ऐसे ऐसे करके हर साल के हमने AI से portfolio बनवाए. Right? So this is back testing. Can you guys guess what would have been the returns, CAGR returns, compounded growth returns of this backtesting result? Yeah, Mr. Abhish is saying there must have been a forward-looking bias. We removed that. We took care of that. Future data का exposure हमने हटाया क्योंकि हमारा AI है तो हम वो कर पाए. Also, I will show you forward testing. Don't worry about that. Forward testing is already done. अच्छा, back testing के results कोई बता सकता है? Can you guys guess? %, 40%, 50%, 20%, CAGR 20. Acha, I'll give you some reference also. So I have been investing in the market since 2018. 2018, I invested in the market for the first time. And manually, I've been investing, of course, using my own framework. From 2018 till now, I have been able to clock a 36% return. So that has been my manual returns for my portfolio, which I will show you also going ahead. What would have been the back-tested CAGR of AI? कितना रहा होगा? So I was also surprised by looking at the results. AI in the back testing performed and gave a blockbuster returns of 48%. 48% CAGR. How amazing is that? How cool is that? 48% compounded over 10 years. 48%. That typically means your portfolio became 50 times, 50x. 48%. How amazing is that? And we have been doing forward testing. So our AI has been live since last 1 year. In the last 1 year, we have also been publishing various different in the public. We have been publishing, right? And those baskets, 8 months old baskets, 6 month old baskets, 4 month old baskets. Can you try to guess? Acha, how has Nifty performed in the last 8 months? How has Nifty performed in the last 8 months? It has been flat or it has been negative, -5%. What if I tell you, I will show you the basket also. The basket got published in November. Since then, it has been 8 to 10 months. Since November, the Nifty has given -5 and the basket, the AI basket has given 10%, 15% returns in the last 8 to 10 months. How amazing is that? So it is also, not only is it working in the back testing, it is also working in the forward testing. It is also working in the real market. How amazing is that? Understood? So we got to know कि यार AI काम कर रहा है, ठीक है? अब AI काम कैसे कर रहा है? ठीक है? How is AI able to give us this returns? How is AI able to identify the right companies? To answer that, let me take you to the question with which we started again. All right? The question with which we started. उसी क्वेश्चन पे दोबारा चलते हैं. This question, company A and company B. All right? कंपनी बी इज द वन दैट यू ऑल ऑफ यू पिक्ड अप. सबको कंपनी बी पसंद आई क्योंकि रेशियोज अच्छी हैं. मान लीजिए आपको रेशियोज की अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गई, देन यू पिक्ड अप कंपनी बी. इंटरेस्टिंग बात यह है दैट दिस डेटा इज नॉट ऑफ टुडे, इट इज एक्चुअली ऑफ 2021. This was a trick question. It was a trick question. And why I picked up 2021 is in 2021, I myself, I had invested in company B by looking at these numbers. I had only invested in company B in 2021 because the numbers are so good. I had picked up company B. Very surprisingly, in the same sector, EV sector only, when we did the back testing results, we found out that in the same year, 2021, AI had picked up company A. So this was picked up by AI, this was picked up by me. And I was very surprised. यार ये कैसे हो रहा है? How is this going to happen? ठीक है? How is this happening? I will tell you the name of these companies also, and then I will tell you why did AI picked up company A. ठीक है? The company that I picked up, company B, ये वाली company, this company is none other than Tata Elxsi. Tata Elxsi. Tata Elxsi is a software company, but they also have contracts with EV companies, right? So they, one point of time, they had a contract with Tesla. So it serves the EV sector and it was benefiting from the EV growth. Small cap company in 2021, even now, even today, a small cap company. What have been the returns of Tata Elxsi in 5 years, 2021 till today? What has been the returns of Tata Elxsi last 5 years? What have been the returns? नहीं पता लोगों को. It have been negative, minus 10%. If you would have invested in this company in 2021 till today, if you would have held this company, you would have been down 10%. ठीक है? This is the company in which I had invested in. 2021 में मैंने पिकअप कर ली. The company that AI picked up, that company in 2021, that company is none other than HBL Engineering. HBL Engineering. अब ये कौन सी कंपनी है? How did this perform? How did this perform? Let me just show you. Let me show you. HBL Engineering, HBL Power Systems. एक बार मैं दिखाता हूं आपको. Let me share my screen once again. Is my screen visible to all of you? Yes? अच्छा, ये है HBL इंजीनियरिंग. HBL इंजीनियरिंग को 5 साल के डेटा पे देखते हैं. देखिए, अगर आपने HBL इंजीनियरिंग में इन्वेस्ट किया होता जैसे AI ने किया 2021 में, the price that you would have got in 2021 would have been 48 rupees to 50 rupees, 40 to 50 rupees, right? 48 rupees would have been the price, 48 to 50. And today the price is close to 700. So from 50 rupees till 700, that's a 15x jump, 14 to 15x jump in 5 years, 14 to 15 times in 5 years. And if you would have invested in Tata Elxsi, it would have been given you negative returns in the 5 years. 5 साल पहले price था 4200, today the price is 3600. Right? So this is Tata Elxsi. The company that I showed you before was HBL Engineering. That became 15x, 48 rupees to 70 rupees. ठीक है? अनुपम सिंह जी कह रहे हैं ओल्ड बात से क्या फायदा, हम पढ़ेंगे तो ओल्ड बात ही, और आगे जो मैं आपको एग्जांपल्स दूंगा, जो थ्योरी समझाऊंगा, उसी से हमें फ्यूचर एग्जांपल समझ आएंगे. ठीक है? इज दिस क्लियर? क्लियर टिल नाउ? अच्छा, the main question is, why was AI able to pick up this company despite the bad ratios? क्वेश्चन तो ये है, क्वेश्चन तो ये है, एक कंपनी एआई ने कंपनी ए को पिकअप क्यों किया, एचबीएल इंजीनियरिंग को क्यों पिकअप किया डिस्पाइट द बैड रेशियोज? एंड वी आस्क्ड दिस टू आवर एआई ओनली, वी आस्क्ड दिस रीजनिंग रैशनल टू आवर एआई ओनली कि क्यों कंपनी ए को पिकअप किया, एंड द रीजनिंग वाज वेरी सिंपल. AI analyzed, number one, it analyzed the global supply chain of AI. ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन स्टडी किया पहले तो, कौन से पार्ट्स कहां कहां बनते हैं पूरी ईवी सेक्टर के, और किस पे क्या डिपेंडेंसी है, कौन से पार्ट, which part of the supply chain is supposed to rise. That was the first thing that was studied. Second, it also studied the management track record. What is management track record? Every quarter the management has to come live and give some quarterly commentary, has to give some projections also.
चलो ठीक.
Whether the management is able to fulfill all the promises done, what is the track record of the management in giving promises or in projecting. Number 3, it also analyzed the future order book of the company by various different sources. Now you tell me honestly, मुझे और बताइए, how many of you can manually analyze this or do manually analyze this while investing in a company? कितने लोग एनालाइज करेंगे ये चीजें इन्वेस्ट करने से पहले? Practically you tell me, is it possible? Is it possible? Most people won't do this. Most people won't do this. और जो सिग्नल होता है ना वो यहीं पे होता है. Yes or no? Right? And this is what AI can find for you. This is what AI can find for you. ठीक है? Very good. अब मैं थ्योरी पार्ट स्टार्ट करूंगा. अभी तक आपको क्या क्या समझ आया है, जल्दी जल्दी से रिपीट कर देते हैं. अभी तक आपको समझ आया the 5 problems that we are going to solve. लैंग्वेज ऑफ फाइनेंस, सेक्टोरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, टाइम, वो समझ आ गया. आपको ये समझ because it is able to look at information far beyond the reach of manual investors. It is able to look at hidden information, hidden trends, hidden patterns. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now we should start with the theory part so that we can learn how to use AI. ठीक है, ये सब कुछ मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी दिखा दिया है. Back tested returns, it is working better than other AIs. That already is done. Let us quickly go to the theory part. I will just spend 2 minutes on my own journey in AI and investing. I will give you a brief introduction. उसके बाद we will understand how do I pick up multi-baggers, why I pick up multi-baggers, why do I do multi-bagger investing, उस पे बात करेंगे. I will also be talking about my own framework, the scrap framework that I use, and eventually we will go to the walkthrough of the platform. ठीक है? Very quickly I want to do an introduction. See, in the financial industry, everyone does your KYC, know your customer. Similarly, all of you should have the response. All of you are responsible to do the KYT. You should be doing KYT, which is know your teacher. ठीक है? All of you have the right to know my entire history and do a credibility check. ठीक है? So I just want to spend 2 minutes on this. I am an engineer by education. I have not done any finance degree at all. I studied maths, I studied physics, I studied electrical engineering from IIT Guwahati. I did my BTech from IIT. Now, while I was doing my engineering, while I was doing my BTech, I got very lucky, I got very fortunate that I got a chance to move to the US to pursue research in AI. And this is back in 2013. I got a chance to work on a project that was funded by the US Health Department. एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट जो कि यूएस हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट फंड कर रहा था, मुझे उस पर काम करने का मौका मिला इन द सिटी यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ न्यूयॉर्क in 2013. Now, can you tell me in the chat how many people were working on AI back in 2013? कितने लोग 2013 में काम कर रहे थे? Very few. Very few. In fact, it was not even called AI back then. It was called ML, machine learning बोलते थे उसको. ठीक है, तो मुझे एक अर्ली इंट्रोडक्शन मिल गई AI पे, कैसे वैल्यू ऐड कर सकता है. That was my start. I came back to India. Coming back to India after my graduation, I started my first I started my startup journey. I created my first company, built my first company, started scaling it. That company became India's largest online doctor consultation platform. The name of that company is DocSap. बहुत सारे लोगों ने हो सकता है सुना भी हो इसका. DocSap later got merged into another company called MediBuddy. इसका मर्जर हो गया दूसरी कंपनी के साथ जिसका नाम है MediBuddy. How many people have heard of MediBuddy या फिर DocSap? Very good. So if you've already used the platform DocSap MediBuddy, then you're already used some part of technology that I. So this happened. Post this merger, I took an exit and I started investing. Initially, I started investing in startups. I became an angel investor. I started putting my personal capital into startups. And eventually, I went to the stock market. क्योंकि जो मैंने फ्रेमवर्क सीखे स्टार्टअप इन्वेस्टिंग के दौरान वही मैंने अप्लाई करने शुरू किए स्टॉक मार्केट में भी. ठीक है, सो आई हैव बीन एन एक्टिव इन्वेस्टर सिंस 2018 2019. ठीक है, 2020 इज व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड द फ्यूचर यूनिवर्सिटी, जिसके थ्रू ये वेबिनार भी हो रहा है. The Future University has partnered with the Economic Times also to bring forward this presentation, this class, this master class. All right. So my journey has taught me a lot about AI, about technology, about entrepreneurship, about financial markets, about long-term investing. And what you are getting today is basically a crux, a summary of the last 13 years of learning, of gaining knowledge. That is what I'm transferring to you in the 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. All right. Yes, someone is asking, Akash is asking, you are the owner of Future University? Yes, I'm the owner of the Future University. Is this clear? This is my quick introduction. Now let's start with why I choose multi-bagger investing. Multi-bagger investing ही क्यों? I told you when I started investing, I started initially in startups. पहले startups में invest करना शुरू किया. And when you invest in startups, the math is very simple. At the time of investing only, you already know that 9 out of 10 companies will be dead in a few months, few years. 9 will be dead. 9 out of 10 will be dead. Only one that will survive will actually give you 100x returns. एक बचेगी वो आपको 100x returns देगी. Basically, this will become a unicorn. Right? That is the math of startup investing. Everyone in the VC world, in the angel world, is basically looking for this unicorn. Everyone. Now, when I started looking at the stock market, whatever I had learned here, I started applying. Because in the startup world, I was looking for 100x companies. It became my nature to look at 10x, 20x, 50x companies, even in the stock market. And I started looking for what you guys call as multi-baggers. कौन सी companies 10x बनेगी, 20x बनेगी, that I started looking at. Right, with the same framework. This framework work. वो मैं आपको समझाता हूँ. If I take the analogy of cricket, in cricket, it's a very, very big shot. If you play a very good shot in cricket, what is the best outcome that you can get as a batsman? Best outcome क्या होता है as a batsman? in terms of runs. If you play a good shot, 6 runs. That is the best outcome, 6 runs. And what is the worst outcome for you? What could happen? What is the worst outcome? Out. Out. What does out mean? Out means you can't play after that. For batsmen, the game is over. You are out of the game. The batsman is out of the game. Right? Now let's compare that with investing. Investing के अंदर, if you pick up a good company, what is the best outcome in terms of returns that you get? Return क्या है? 100x, multiple, exponential, multi-bagger. Unlimited is the correct answer. Unlimited. Best outcome is unlimited. And what is the worst outcome for you if you invest in that company? What's the worst outcome? Your capital in that company goes to zero. Your capital in that company goes to zero. Does that mean you can't invest in other companies? Does that mean you can't invest in other companies? No. If you create a portfolio, you can keep investing in other companies also. This simply means the worst outcome is, if you compare that with cricket, investing के अंदर worst outcome is you missed the ball. You had a dot ball. You had 0 runs scored on that ball. The ball was missed. Right? Now try to compare. Cricket के अंदर, no matter how good the shot you play, cricket के अंदर, the best outcome or the upside is capped. The downside is game over for you. Cricket के अंदर, game over. You can't play after that. Investing के अंदर, the upside is unlimited. It's unlimited. You can have like unlimited gains. The downside is capped. It is limited. Downside is capped. Because this is true, it makes lot of sense to keep playing like Virender Sehwag here. To keep playing like Virender Sehwag in investing. समझ आए? ये समझ आया? Yes? Yes? अच्छा, एक एग्जांपल एक और सिंपल सा. If you have not understood this, MCQ exam attempt कर रहे हैं, if you attempt, you will get -1. But on some of the correct answers, some of the correct answers, you will get a 10,000 score. Now, you understood the point now. सिर्फ एक चीज देखने वाली है, एक ही चीज देखने वाली है इन्वेस्टिंग के अंदर, वो ये है हाउ easy it is to find these multi-baggers. How easy it is to find these companies which can grow 10x, 20x. If it is very, very rare that you find these companies, then it is going to be not, then it's not going to make sense. कि 6000 कंपनीज हैं, उसमें से एक ही कंपनी में 10 गुना होता है. अगर ऐसा है तो फिर तो नहीं करेंगे ये. अगर तो बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट है that companies become multi-bagger, then there is a lot of sense in doing multi-bagger investing. Yes? Can you take an educated guess? Can all of you take an educated guess? What percentage of companies actually become multi-bagger in India? What percentage of companies actually become multi-bagger in India? By multi-bagger, I mean they grow X in X years. X in X years. So 2X in 2 years, 5X in 5 years, 10X in 10 years, or more than that. How many percentage of companies actually become multi-bagger? 1%, 0.1%, 5%, 3%, 0.5 to 1, 10%, 1% around 5.1, 6, 60, 20%, 11, 4.5, few companies, 6, 15, 6, 1%, 1%, 0, 15%, 9, 20. All right. Let me show you the real data. Now, I am going to show you the data of last 5 years. That does not mean कि पिछले 5 साल में कुछ स्पेशल हो गया है. आप कोई भी 5 साल उठाइए, किसी भी मार्केट ट्रेंड के अंदर उठा लीजिए, 5 साल उठाइए और देखिए कि कितनी कंपनीज मल्टीबैगर बनी, 5x बनी, 10x बनी. You can look at the data on your own. I am picking data from 2021. Some people will say 2021 COVID recovery was happening. No, COVID recovery already happened in 2020. By the end of 2020, December 2020, already the market was at the previous peak. So already recovery had happened. After 2021, recovery was not happening. Right? So 2021 till 2026, I have taken the data. Let me show you the data. In the last 5 years, if you look at all companies, 40% of the companies became multi-baggers. And I'm not even talking about small companies. These are all companies with at least a market cap of 100 crores. 100 करोड़ से ऊपर की जितनी कंपनीज थी 2021 में, लगभग 1200 कंपनीज थी 100 करोड़ से ऊपर. उनमें से बड़ी कंपनीज में से 500 became 5x in 5 years. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? 40% of the companies became 5x in 5 years. All of you were taking a guess 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%. Real data is 40%. In fact, 20% of the companies gave 10x returns in 5 years. 20% of the companies gave 10x. Right? What does this mean? This also means that even if a monkey was investing in the Indian market, the win rate, the success rate of a monkey in picking up multi-baggers, that would have been 40%. Monkey's win rate would have been 40%. Yes or no? Monkey will pick up randomly. 4 out of 10 companies will be multi-baggers. ठीक है. अब आप लोग मुझे बताइए honestly बताइए. I don't want all of you to feel bad, but tell me honestly, how many of you sitting in the class were able to beat this monkey in the last 5 years? Were you able to beat this monkey in the last 5 years? Tell me honestly. Not me. No. Acha, how many mutual fund managers in India? Were able to beat this monkey? No one. Why? कितने लोग म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं यहाँ पे? How many people invest in mutual funds? Do you guys know how mutual fund industry works? Why are they not able to find multi-baggers? Why are they not able to beat the monkey? I'll tell you how they work. Because see, the mutual fund industry is not designed to pick up multi-baggers. It is not designed that way. Let me explain it to you. See, you'll have to understand that a fund manager or a mutual fund company does not make money when you make money. They make money when you give them your money. जैसे ही you give 1 lakh rupees to a mutual fund company, first of all, they will deduct 1,000 rupees as the expense ratio, put it in their pocket. First of all, that will happen. Then they will go ahead and invest in 99,000 in the market. Now, if a mutual fund company has to grow their profits, they will have to attract newer and newer capital. they will have to grow their AUM, assets under management. Yes. They will have to attract new capital. Yes. In order to grow profits. Yes or no, bhai? Very good. Now, how do they attract new capital? How do they attract new investors? What are the things that a new investor looks at when they invest in any market, invest in mutual funds? A new investor will look at last 6 months performance, last 12 months performance, and also how much has it beaten the Nifty. These are the things that you will look at as a new investor. Now, the entire mutual fund industry knows this, and that's why they always and always optimize for this. They optimize for short-term steadiness. They optimize for short-term stability. With this approach, will you ever be able to find multi-baggers? That is why, with this approach, almost every mutual fund company has the same holdings. 80% of the companies in any mutual fund holdings is same, exactly same. Everything is basically a replica of the Nifty 50. 80% replica of Nifty 50. Everyone has Bajaj Finance, everyone has HDFC, everyone has Reliance, everyone has TCS, everyone has Infosys. Yes? इसीलिए वो मल्टीबैगर कभी नहीं ढूंढ पाएंगे. Alright? ठीक है. समझ आया ना? Now you tell me, if we try to learn some new concepts, if we try to use the right approach and the right tools, will we be able to beat this monkey? Is it very hard to beat this monkey if we apply a bit of common sense? Great, amazing, ठीक है. Let's get started now. पहले फ्रेमवर्क सीखते हैं और फिर टूल पे चलेंगे. First we'll learn frameworks, then we'll go to the tool. Now, how do we build any investing framework? कोई भी investing framework को समझने के लिए what we have to understand first is the 3 axes. What are these 3 axes? See, to analyze any business, to analyze any company in the world, you just need 3 axes. What are these 3 axes? On one axis, on the x-axis, you will keep the quality of the business, or how fundamentally strong is the business. Now, there might be multiple ratios, multiple metrics which tell you the quality of the business. It could mean multiple things, but everything will just tell you the quality. How fundamentally strong is the business? How efficient is the business? How are the margins? How solid is the balance sheet? How solid is the cash conversion? All that is quality. Quality of the business. That's one axis. Y-axis पे you will keep, इस axis पे आप रखोगे how is the business evolving, how is the business growing, growth of the business, how is the business evolving. Mr. Vishal Verma ji is saying, put down the cup, Sarji, it is empty now. It is not empty. Basically मैं cup रखता हूं अपने पास so that I have warm water. I have warm water. I don't have tea, coffee. Because I speak so much, I have to speak loudly also. My throat starts hurting. I hope all of you can excuse me for that. मैं साथ साथ में गर्म पानी पीता रहूंगा. X axis पे quality, Y axis पे growth, Z axis पे we keep the इस क्वालिटी का बिजनेस, इस ग्रोथ वाला बिजनेस मुझे किस दाम पे मिल रहा है, मुझे किस प्राइस पे मिल रहा है. सो वी कीप द वैल्यूएशन ऑन जेड एक्सिस. बस प्राइस ऑन जेड एक्सिस. कोई भी बिजनेस को एनालाइज करना हो, यही तीनों एक्सिस होती है, इसके अलावा और कुछ नहीं होता. ओनली एंड ओनली 3 एक्सिस आर देयर. दैट्स इट. ठीक है. यही तीनों एक्सिस को यूज करके दुनिया का हर फ्रेमवर्क बनता है. Every framework is just a combination of these 3. Every investor, legendary investor like Warren Buffett, everyone will have different perspective, different priority order. For example, Warren Buffett will look at, first it will look at valuation, then it will look at quality. This is Warren Buffett for you. Then Peter Lynch, again a very successful fund manager. He will first look at growth, then he will look at valuation. If you come to India, look at Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. First he will look at growth, then he will look at quality. If you look at, let's say, a very interesting model is there of 100 baggers by Christopher Mayer. All these are very successful investors, right? They have their different framework. इनका सबका अलग-अलग framework है. He will also look at growth and quality. अब होता क्या है? If you change the priority order, if you change your perspective slightly, the kind of companies that will match your criteria will be different. आप अलग-अलग कंपनीज पे पहुंच जाओगे. Yes or no? आपका अगर प्रायोरिटी ऑर्डर चेंज हो जाए तो अलग-अलग कंपनीज आ जाएंगी. Yes? Yes or no? Right? Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji, 100 bagger, Christopher Mayer, all these are legendary people. But their framework comes from this structure. आप कोई भी फ्रेमवर्क सीखें, सबसे पहले आपको यह पता होना चाहिए कि वो फ्रेमवर्क बना कैसे और कितने कितने फ्रेमवर्क्स बन सकते हैं, उसका अंडरलाइन क्या है, ये आपको समझ होनी चाहिए. ठीक है. जब मैंने भी इन्वेस्टिंग करनी स्टार्ट की, आई ऑल्सो लर्न फ्रॉम दीज गाइज, फ्रॉम दीज गुरुज, एंड आई ऑल्सो ट्राई टू पिक अप द बेस्ट थिंग्स फ्रॉम दीज लेजेंड्स. In fact, I openly say that I have copied most of my investing style from Peter Lynch and from Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. My framework is just a combination of these two. Peter Lynch and Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. ठीक है. अब बताता हूं मैं आपको मेरा फ्रेमवर्क है क्या, कैसे अप्लाई करना है, वो मैं आपको समझाता हूं. ठीक है. वेरी वेरी सिंपल, वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क. स्क्रैप फ्रेमवर्क. SCRAP. It is basically a top-down approach. It's basically a top-down approach. पांच steps हैं इस framework में. All of you can note down also. And I will explain to you in very common sense, simple sense में समझाऊंगा आपको मैं. See, if the Indian economy is growing at 7 to 8%, GDP is growing at 7-8%. Does that mean each sector in India will grow at 7-8%? Yes or no? No. Some sectors will be slow growing, some sectors will be fast growing. So the first step always is sector analysis. Identify sectors which are growing at 15%, more than 15% growth year on year. That is the first step. Sector analysis. If you identify the right sector, half the job is done. You have already won half the race. It is already done. 50% काम हो गया आपका अगर अच्छा सेक्टर पकड़ लिया. Some sectors by their own nature, they will grow faster than the entire economy. And if you position yourself in those sectors, your probability of winning increases. Okay, that is the first thing. Now, if the sector is growing at 15%, does that mean each company will also grow at 15% in that sector? No. Some companies will be slow, some companies will be faster. So the second step is, in this sector, how do I identify companies which are growing at 25%? So we will study something called as compounding machines. Compounding machines क्या होती हैं? How do we identify companies which are growing at 25%, which are supposed to grow at 25%? I'm not talking about past data कि पिछले साल 15% ग्रो की, पिछले साल 25% ग्रो की. No, we are going to identify companies which can grow at 25% in the future. So we are going to do future analysis of these companies. ठीक है? I'm going to explain to you how to do this. All right? Second step clear? companies which are supposed to grow at 25%. Then if the company is supposed to grow at 25%, does that mean in the future there will be no roadblocks, there will be no hurdles for the company? Does that mean that? No, right? No. So we will have to identify the future roadblocks today. We will have to identify what I call as red flags or rejection criteria. Red flags which can stop the growth of the company in the future. कौन सी ऐसी चीजें हैं जिससे ग्रोथ रुक जाएगी, वो पहले आइडेंटिफाई कर लेते हैं. Right? Red flags. What are the red flags? For example, what is the debt position of the company? Debt कितना है, बैलेंस शीट कितनी स्ट्रांग है, कैश कन्वर्जन कितना स्ट्रांग है, वीक तो नहीं हो रहा, रिलेटेड पार्टी ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहे हैं नहीं हो रहे हैं, how much pledging is there, what is the promoter salary, what is the auditor salary, what does the audit report says, what does the credit report says, what is the governance, what are there any governance concerns, are there any regulatory concerns? For example, how many of you remember the news that came 2-3 months ago of a company called Rajesh Exports? कितने लोगों ने सुनी थी वो न्यूज राजेश एक्सपोर्ट्स की? अच्छा, you will be very pleased to know that our AI, the AI platform, it was able to identify governance issues in Rajesh Exports in 2025 February. एक साल पहले हमारे AI ने उसको टैग कर दिया था हमारे डेटाबेस में और पब्लिकली था हमारी वेबसाइट पे कि ये इसमें गवर्नेंस इश्यूज हैं. How amazing is that? 1 year before the actual news came. How amazing is that? It was able to tag governance issues in Rajesh Exports. So AI also identifies red flags really nicely, really efficiently. So that is the third step, red flags. Let us say after red flags step, you have got a list of 20-25 companies which are interesting. Then the fourth step is allocation and portfolio building. Portfolio कैसे बनाओगे इसका? Portfolio building. How do you allocate capital? Also entry exit इसी के अंदर आएगा. कब एंट्री लेनी है, कब एग्जिट लेनी है, कब कैश पोजीशन रखनी है, कब इन्वेस्टेड रहना है. All this is fourth step, allocation. ठीक है? And the fifth step after that, the last step is even after you have created the best portfolio in the world, even after that, if you don't follow the fifth step, you will still ruin it. You will still not be able to make money because the fifth step is psychology or patience. Psychology or patience. जैसे कि अभी मैंने पढ़ाना शुरू भी नहीं किया था, अभी 15 मिनट ही हुए थे और कुछ लोग क्लास में ऑलरेडी चैट में बोल रहे थे. क्या बोल रहे थे? सर पॉइंट पे आइए, कम टू द पॉइंट. अब मैं पॉइंट पे ही हूं पिछले 1.5 घंटे से, बट लोगों को लग रहा है पॉइंट पता नहीं कौन सा आएगा. आई विल टेल यू द प्रॉब्लम. द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट many people in the market, they are addicted to shortcuts. They are addicted to gambling. And they feel कि यार गैम्बलिंग करके कुछ जल्दी जल्दी मिल जाए, कुछ शॉर्टकट मिल जाए, मेरा पैसा बन जाए. ऐसा होता नहीं है. There is a very famous saying that market is just an instrument to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. और कुछ नहीं हो रहा है मार्केट में सिर्फ यही हो रहा है. It is just an instrument to transfer wealth from the impatient to the patient. बस यही हो रहा है. तो आपको चूज करना है whether you want to stay impatient, whether you want to become patient. So that is the fifth step. और मैं या फिर कोई भी टीचर आपको पेशेंस नहीं सिखा पाएगा, साइकोलॉजी नहीं फिक्स कर पाएगा, ये आपको खुद ही करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, मैं पहले 4 पॉइंट्स पे बात कर सकता हूं, 5वें पे बात नहीं कर सकता, ठीक है, वेरी गुड. Let's start with the first step, sector analysis. Let's start with sector analysis. Now, sector analysis के अंदर there are multiple concepts that are there in sector analysis that you can do, that you can learn. Value migration होता है एक. One is value migration and inflection points. Second is cyclical expansion of various sectors. Third is value chain analysis, supply chain analysis, profit pool analysis. और चौथा है पॉन्ड एनालिसिस. ये पॉन्ड एनालिसिस मैंने खुद बनाया है. पॉन्ड एनालिसिस खुद कंसेप्ट बनाया है. इनफैक्ट आई एम आल्सो गोइंग टू पब्लिश अ बुक वेरी वेरी सून ऑन पॉन्ड एनालिसिस ऑफ डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स, राइट. तो ये चारों कंसेप्ट्स हैं सेक्टर एनालिसिस के. मैं पहले कंसेप्ट की पहले आज बात करूंगा, वैल्यू माइग्रेशन की बात करेंगे. आई विल एक्सप्लेन दैट इन डिटेल. वैल्यू माइग्रेशन, ऑलराइट. I will give you the definition first. I'll give you the definition first, then I will actually give you the examples. Value migration inflection point पहले पढ़ते हैं, definition देता हूं, and then I will give you the examples also. Focus on the screen, listen to me carefully. See, after every few years, in every sector, shifts from one set of companies to another set of companies. ठीक है, बहुत सिंपल है. हर कुछ सालों बाद हर सेक्टर में एक चेंज आता है. उस चेंज की वजह से वैल्यू जो होती है माइग्रेट हो जाती है. कस्टमर्स जो होते हैं माइग्रेट हो जाते हैं. मार्केट शेयर शिफ्ट हो जाता है फ्रॉम वन सेट ऑफ कंपनीज टू अनदर सेट ऑफ कंपनीज. सिंपल. दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड वैल्यू माइग्रेशन. द चेंज इज कॉल्ड इन्फ्लेक्शन पॉइंट. अब ये स्टडी करना इसलिए जरूरी है, उसका मैं आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं. अगर आपने, इफ यू वुड हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन एआई कंपनीज बिफोर 2023, would you have made money before 2023 in AI companies? Would you have made money in AI companies before 2023? No. 2023 was the inflection point. ठीक है, inflection point. उसके बाद वैल्यू माइग्रेशन हुई, उसके बाद ग्रोथ आई. इंपॉर्टेंट है. मैं आपको बताता हूं, इसके एग्जांपल्स देता हूं, and then you will be able to understand really better. First, I will give you past examples, then I will give you future examples also. पहले मैं आपको फैक्टर्स बताता हूं. What are the factors that lead to value migration? What are the different inflection points? कौन से फैक्टर्स होते हैं? You can note this down also. First factor always and always is tech change. Technology changes. Tech changes. Second factor is cost changes. किसी भी सेक्टर में अगर कॉस्ट चेंज हो जाए, प्राइसिंग चेंज हो जाए तो. थर्ड फैक्टर इज रेगुलेटरी चेंज, पॉलिसी चेंज. रेगुलेटरी चेंज. फोर्थ फैक्टर इज कस्टमर प्रेफरेंस चेंज, कस्टमर टेस्ट चेंजेस और प्रेफरेंस चेंजेस. बस, देयर आर ओनली 4 factors. That's it. There is no other factor that leads to value migration. Only and only 4. It is so simple, easy to identify. अब मैं आपको एग्जांपल्स देता हूं. पास्ट एग्जांपल्स फर्स्ट. 1991, what was the big change that happened in India in 1991? What was the big change that happened in the Indian economy? 1991. Indian markets opened up, liberalization happened, privatization happened, right? Liberalization. Matlab, in sectors where private companies were not allowed, it got allowed. Private companies started opening up in many, many sectors. One of the biggest sector that got impacted because of this is banks. Banks में 90s से पहले तक सिर्फ और सिर्फ पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स थे, राइट. 95 में came HDFC. After that came ICICI. After that came Kotak. After that came Axis. All these banks came. And because private banks were better able to serve the customer, they started attracting market share. Customers आने शुरू हो गए, market share बढ़ना शुरू हो गया. If you would have just looked at the value migrating, if you would have just looked at the value migration happening in banks, and if you would have invested in the banks, in these banks in the late 90s, you would have made amazing amount of money over the next 10 years. बहुत पैसा बनता है आपका अगर 90s में आप इनमें इन्वेस्ट कर देते तो. Yes. First example of value migration. Let us take second example very quickly. Second example, 1998. In the two-wheeler sector. See, in the two-wheeler sector, there was only one dominant company before 1998. One dominant product, one dominant company. That was Bajaj. Bajaj Chetak. Right? 98 से पहले सब घरों में स्कूटर्स होते थे. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? 98 में a big change happened. What was the big change? Hero, which is an Indian company, they had a joint venture with Honda. Honda is a Japanese company, right? So Hero Honda started building 4-stroke 100cc high mileage bikes in India. 100cc 4-strokes bike came. Splendor came. Passion came. Shine came. Right? Which were more suitable for Indian roads. They also had high mileage. Because of this, value started migrating from scooters to motorcycles. The market share of motorcycles started increasing, right, after 1998. And it benefited two companies. In the mass segment, Hero benefited. In the premium segment, there's another company called Eicher Motors. They started benefiting. Eicher Motors is the parent company of Royal Enfield. And if you would have invested in these two companies in the early 2000s, you would have invested in these two companies, you would have made amazing amount of money. Just based on the value migration concept. You would have made amazing amount of money. That is the second example. Let's quickly take the third example and then we will take the future examples also. तीसरा example क्या है? Historical example. 2008. 2008 से पहले in the telecom sector, 2008 से पहले there were only two companies, BSNL and MTNL. Only two companies were there. They had all the market share. 2008, important changes happened. One, 2G spectrum allocation happened. 2G spectrum allocation happened to private companies. Then smartphone adoption also picked up. Smartphones came, they also picked up. Because of these two, at least a dozen telecom companies were there. They started gaining market share. So there was Airtel, there was Aircel, there was Hutch, there was Vodafone, there was Videocon, there was Uninor, there was Docomo, there was Spice, there was Reliance Communication, there was Tata Communication. At least a dozen companies were there. They started gaining market share. So value migrated from here to here. And then again, in the same sector, after a few years, 2015, two changes happened. 2G got upgraded to 3G. 3G came. And cost changes. Pricing got slashed. Only two companies survived. Jio, Airtel. All the market share moved from here to here. This is value migration. Very simple. Past example समझ आए? Past example समझ आ गए? Let us take future examples now. Let's take future examples now. See, I will give you a couple of themes to remember. A couple of themes of value migration to remember. The first theme is always and always it happens like that. value migrates from public to private. Public to private. Always happens like this. Can you tell me present examples of public to private? Which sectors are impacted by this? Can you tell me? कौन से सेक्टर्स में वैल्यू इज माइग्रेटिंग फ्रॉम पब्लिक टू प्राइवेट टुडे? Some people think defense. So let's first write defense. Defense is a good answer. Defense. Or some saying space. Very good answer. Space. Space is getting privatized. Or someone mentioned insurance. Very good answer. Mr. Sunil has given insurance. Insurance में the largest company is still a public company, LIC, and value is migrating from LIC to private insurance companies. Energy, power, very good answer. So power, and I will also add to power infra. Infra के अंदर सभी आ जाता है. Railway infra, roadways infra, ports infra overall power. Mining, very good. Mining, metals, commodities. अभी तो बहुत सारी कमोडिटीज पे, आज भी बहुत सारी कमोडिटीज पे गवर्नमेंट की मोनोपोली है. यस और नो? आज भी बहुत सारी कमोडिटीज पे गवर्नमेंट की मोनोपोली है. एल्यूमिनियम हो गया, कॉपर हो गया, इन सब पे मोनोपोली है उनकी. जब धीरे धीरे करके प्राइवेटाइजेशन होगी इन सब की, लॉट ऑफ वैल्यू विल बी क्रिएटेड फॉर इन्वेस्टर्स. यस और नो? See, that is clear. It is clear. It is known to everyone that a private company will be able to run the business efficiently. It is known to everyone. So whenever that migration starts happening, it will create a lot of value. So this is one theme. Always remember the first theme. Always remember this. Second theme, let's study. Second theme is, as the per capita income of India rises, the markets move from unorganized to branded. That is the second theme. Everyone wants branded or organized. इसमें एग्जांपल बताइए कौन से सेक्टर्स आर इंपैक्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस? अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड टू ऑर्गेनाइज्ड, अनऑर्गेनाइज्ड टू ब्रांडेड. Which sectors are impacted by this? Apparel. Jewelry is a very good answer. Jewelry. So people keep saying that Titan is a gone story. Titan को लोग राइट ऑफ कर देते हैं कि यार अब तो इतना ज्यादा बढ़ गया, अब तो क्या ही इन्वेस्ट करेंगे टाइटन में. And people keep saying this every 3 years. Even in 2015 people were saying the same. Even in 2018 people were saying the same. Even in 2022 people were saying the same. Even today people are saying the same. Titan is done. अब क्या करें? See, try to remember this. The entire organized jewelry sector क्या है? Titan, मतलब तनिष्क, कल्याण, a couple of jewelers which have chains, jeweler chains, they are still only and only 15% of the overall market. Overall market का सिर्फ 15% ही है इनके पास. Now, as we move into the future, what do you feel? The future generation, when they get married, will they buy jewelry from Tanishq or will they buy from a local jeweler? You tell me. You tell me. They will always go to branded, because see, our older generation, the previous generation, had more trust on the local jeweler. They knew that guy. They had connection with that guy. The newer generation does not care about the connection, does not care about someone being local. The newer generation cares about the brand. Yes. So jewelry, उसके अलावा क्लोथिंग अपैरल तो आ ही जाएगा, और इसके अलावा some people think FMCG, very good. FMCG के अंदर, FMCG is such a big market. You can pick up some niches out of FMCG. You can pick up subcategories also, subsectors also, and there also value migration is happening. Let me give you an example. 20 years ago, when you guys used to buy आटा और राइस, आपके घर में आटा राइस आता होगा. Was that loose open atta rice 20 years ago? Yes or no? Loose or open atta rice? And now, has that shifted to branded packaged atta rice in all households? Yes. So 20 years we have made the transition. Groceries, such a big market. It has already, value migration is happening because of quick commerce, because of all this. The large part of the grocery market which used to be unorganized, kiryane wala store, that is now moved to branded, packaged. ठीक है? Groceries. I will also show you a company which is there in my portfolio since last 2-3 years, which is basically a play in grocery branding, branded grocery. I will show you a company. Groceries. Someone mentioned milk, very good example. और बताइए, unorganized to branded, और बताइए. Very good example. Hospitals. Mr. Feroz Khan gave the example. Hospitals, very good example. See, if you think about the branded hospital chains, which is Max, Fortis, Narayana Hridayalaya, Apollo, Manipal, all these companies, they only and only have 3% of the entire if there are 100 beds overall in India, only 3 are branded hospitals. Now, when we move into the future, when all of you are in a requirement of hospital, whenever you guys fall sick, will you guys prefer a branded hospital or will you prefer a local hospital? Tell me. A branded hospital, right? So there's going to be amazing growth in hospitals, branded hospitals, right? You get the point, right? So this is clear. Is this clear? This is the second theme that I wanted to talk about. Let's study the third theme. Third theme is global growth drivers. Global growth drivers, which means that because value is getting migrated globally, it is also getting migrated in India. Global growth drivers. तो यहां पे कौन सी वैल्यू माइग्रेशन हो रही है globally? Migration is happening from ICE, internal combustible engine vehicle, to EV sector. ICE to EV sector. अच्छा, कितने लोगों को लगता है कि the recent that chaos that is happening of E20, E10, E85, all that is going to be an important inflection point in the EV sector? How many people feel this? Because now the sentiment towards fuel cars is very bad. People will not prefer that now. There's so much bad news that has come up. So it can become an important inflection point for the entire sector. People who were avoiding EVs till now will definitely now go ahead towards EVs. Yes? So that is one. Second, value is migrating from conventional fuel sources, conventional energy sources to renewable energies. Renewables. इसका solar बहुत बड़ा part है, and solar industry is going to be really big in India. I'm going to talk about that, solar. Then the entire chain, supply chain, value chain of AI, data centers, semiconductors, everything that is powering this. AI का पूरा अगर वैल्यू चेन देखेंगे तो इंडिया में एआई कंपनीज तो नहीं है, सेमीकंडक्टर कंपनीज भी नहीं है, बट देन इफ यू लुक एट द सप्लाई चेन of AI, you will find interesting companies. You will find companies of wires, cables. Then you will find power generation companies, transformer companies, right? All these companies will be very interesting. Okay, rare earth metals, that is also going into semiconductors. ठीक है, 2 मिनट के लिए सोलर पे बात कर लेते हैं. सोलर पे बात कर लेते हैं. So if you look at solar and if you compare the capacity, the annual capacity of India with China and with US, the annual solar capacity of these three countries in 2015, 10 साल पहले, India had 50 gigawatts, China had 200 gigawatts, and US also had 200 gigawatts. This is 10 years ago. In 10 years, 2015 till 2025, 2026, US went from 200 to 600, 3 times. India went from 50 to 200, exactly where China and US was 10 years ago. And China went from 200 to 1600 gigawatts, 8x. This is what is happening in solar in the last 10 years. Now, in the next 10 years, 2035, can we now safely assume that India will at least do 1000 in next 10 years? Can we assume this? Is this going to be a safe bet? Yes or no? Safe to assume this? Yes. Very good. So if the entire sector is becoming 5x, will there be multi-bagger opportunities in this sector? Yes. That is the power of value migration. Is the concept clear? Is the concept clear? Did you find it interesting? Did you find it helpful? Did you find it interesting? Did you learn something new today? वेरी गुड. अच्छा, आप मुझे बताइए, अगर आपको एआई बिना ये जाने, बिना ये समझे, अगर आपको एआई बताता, लिख के बोलता, इफ एआई वुड हैव टोल्ड यू दैट हे दिस सेक्टर इज हैविंग वैल्यू माइग्रेशन, तो क्या आपको समझ आता? क्या आप अच्छे से यूज कर पाते उसका? इसीलिए कंसेप्ट समझना जरूरी होता है, इसीलिए थ्योरी पढ़ना भी जरूरी है. यस, वेरी गुड. नाउ लेट अस से सेक्टर एनालिसिस अभी के लिए थोड़ा पार्क करते हैं. सी, इट इज अ वेरी वास्ट सब्जेक्ट, so I'm going to park sector analysis. I'm going to move towards company analysis. ठीक है, उसका भी आपको एक थोड़ा सा फ्लेवर देता हूं. I'm going to give you some concepts in company analysis also. All right. We said that when we do company analysis, we have to identify compounding machines. Companies will have to grow at 25%. This is what we said. Grow at 25%. Now 25% growth in what? किस चीज की growth? 25% growth किस चीज की? Can anyone tell me? Is it growth in revenue? Is it growth in profits? Is it growth in margins? Is it growth in market share? Is it growth in price of the stock? What kind of growth I'm talking about? Growth in what? So people are giving different answers. Let me first explain this and then I will move ahead. इसके लिए, ये समझने के लिए, if you have to understand this, you will have to learn some investing principles. And one of the basic concepts, basic investing principles that you'll have to understand is the difference between price and वैल्यू। बहुत सारे लोगों को यही कंसेप्ट नहीं पता है, ये कंसेप्ट नहीं आता है, तो पहले मैं ये क्लियर कर देता हूं। वेरी सिंपल बट ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड, प्राइस एंड वैल्यू। आई विल एक्सप्लेन दिस फर्स्ट, ठीक है। I will explain this through a story. I'll narrate one story and you will understand. Let us say once upon a time there was a very rich investor, very rich guy. Let us name this guy, very rich investor. Let us name this guy Mr. Donald Duck. Donald Duck हमारे बहुत अमीर इंसान है, ठीक है। Donald Duck, once upon a time, he flies to India, and in India he goes to a market. He goes to a market. In this market, pens are sold. There are a lot of buyers of pens and there are a lot of sellers of pens. ठीक है, pens are sold. Now Donald Duck goes to this market and he makes an announcement. He says that I will buy any pen at any price. That is what Donald Duck said. I will buy any pen at any price. After making this announcement, he goes back to America. Okay. Now, my question to all of you is this: what will happen in the pens market after he leaves? What will happen in the pens market after he leaves? Price hike. Price will increase. Tehelka, jump, increase, boom, demand. Supply will increase. All right. So what will happen is people will buying pens. People will start buying pens. There will be no seller of pen left. Everyone would want to buy and everyone would want to hoard. They would want to hoard so that they can sell it to Donald Duck after some time at whatever price he says or whatever price they quote. So there will be bidding wars in the market. Bidding wars. The price will keep going up. It'll start from 10 rupees, it'll go to 100, it'll go to 1000, and it'll reach 1 crore rupees. 1 crore per pen it'll reach. It'll keep going up. There'll be bidding wars. Right? Now, my question to you is this: the price has gone to 1 crore. Did the actual utility of the pen change? What is the pen used for? Pen is used for writing, for making notes. Did that change? No. So the value that the user gets from the pen is still the same. Value that the user gets is still the same. Okay. Now let us say one fine day, another day, Mr. Narinder Singh will come to this market and he will also make an announcement. He will say that why is everyone paying 1 crore? The value is still the same. The utility is still the same. Okay. What will happen in this market after that? What will happen in this market after that? Crash. The price will crash. The bubble will get burst. The bubble will burst. Price will decline sharply. Now, you tell me, is this a made up story or is this the reality of the stock market every day? Is this a made up story or is this the reality? This is what happens every day. This happens every single day. This is the reality. This is not a made up story, right? Also, you tell me a funny thing. Also, you tell me the price went from 10 rupees to 1 crore. Did Donald Duck actually buy any pen? Did he actually buy any pen? No. No. So why did the price increase? Price क्यों बढ़ा? Why did the price increase? News, speculation, bubble, sentiment. Correct. All of this is correct. I will give you the right word to remember. The right word is price increased because of perception in the market. Perception. Perception. Perception can also be called speculation or sentiment or news. Perception in the market. Perception कैसी है? आपको याद रखना है, what all do you have to remember? You have to remember that price is different, value is different, perception is different. Price is dependent on perception and value. Both. It is dependent on both. Sometimes price increases because of perception, value remains same. Sometimes price also increases because of value. Price is dependent on both. In fact, if you have understood this, you should also understand this is the difference between trader and investor. The difference between trader and investor is not the duration of holding. It is not 2 days versus 2 years. No. A trader makes money whenever perception changes. Trader makes money on perception changes. He's taking a bet on perception. Investor makes money on value changes. That's it. That is the difference. That is the difference. ठीक है, ये समझ आया? ये स्टोरी, ये डिफरेंस समझ आया? Yes or no? Will you be able to remember this for next 10 years? Will you be able to tell this to your kids, to your grandkids? Very good. Acha. If you have understood this, I will also tell you the equation through which they are related. You will have to remember this equation. Stock price is equal to EPS. EPS is earnings per share, profit per share, EPS, multiplied by PE ratio, price to earning ratio. Remember this equation. ये इक्वेशन ट्रू है, ठीक है? अब ये क्या है? अर्निंग्स पर शेयर. देखिए, why does any businessman start a business? What is the objective of a businessman to start a business? Profits, earnings, to earn profits, to earn money. So the objective of a business is to give profits. The utility of the business is to give profits. That is the utility of the business. Now, if the utility of the business is to give profits, what is the utility of one share of the business? To give profits per share, earnings per share. This is the true utility of a stock, of a share. True utility. एक स्टॉक के पीछे कितनी अर्निंग्स हैं, कितना प्रॉफिट है, ये यूटिलिटी वैल्यू है. And the other part, PE ratio, this is nothing but the perception. This is only and only the perception. It is also easy to remember. PE matlab perception. What is the market perception? That's it. Right? For example, agar kal, if tomorrow there is an announcement by the government that they are giving subsidy on solar panels, all the solar companies will rally tomorrow. The price will increase. Why will the price increase? Will the profits increase tomorrow? Will the earnings increase tomorrow? No. The PE ratio will increase. The perception will increase. The perception will get better. Correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? Now let us study these two separately. First, we will study P ratio. Pehli cheez, the first thing that you should remember about P ratio is it is always and always range bound. It is range bound most of the time. Range bound matlab if it is 50, it will go to 80, then it will go back to 20. That's it. It will go in this range. You will hardly see any company where the P ratio has gone from 50 to 5,000. Have you seen any company like that? 50 से 5,000 होगी P ratio. 50 to 5,000 it goes. No, it does not happen very often. Does not happen most of the cases. Right? It is always in the range. Bajaj Finance ka P ratio last 10 years it has been the range of 30 to 60. That is the range. 30 to 60 keeps fluctuating. Titan ka P ratio in the last 10 years has been in the range of 60 to 100. Always in this range. Most of the times. Okay? It does not go beyond that. This is P ratio. Second factor about P ratio, it is not predictable. It is not controllable. Can any of you predict the P ratio 1 year later? Can you tell me what will be the perception 1 year later of any company? No, no one can. No one knows the news that will come 1 year later. Can any of you tell the perception? Can any of you tell the P ratio? No. Only that person can tell you about news who is creating news, which is Mr. Donald Duck. Only he can tell you about news before news comes. Okay? So it is not predictable. Let us study this now. EPS. First thing, is EPS also range bound or can earnings grow 10x, 20x, 100x? Earnings can grow 10x, 20x, 100x. Yes. Second, are earnings more predictable than P ratio? Yes. Every company, listed company, gives projections. This is what our next quarter is going to be. This is what our next year is going to be. So it is easier to predict, easier to project earnings, easier to predict. Now you tell me, if we are doing multi-bagger investing, which means the stock price should become 10x, 20x, 100x, right? Which of these factors will actually lead to that growth, will contribute the most? Which of these two factors will contribute in giving me 10x, 20x, 100x growth? बताइए. EPS. Correct. EPS growth. EPS growth, earnings growth. Whereas most of the people in India, most of the retail investors, जब वो इन्वेस्टिंग स्टार्ट करते हैं, उनकी कहानी इस पे शुरू होती है और इसी पे खत्म हो जाती है. They start their investing by P ratio, they end their investing with P ratio. That is all they look at, isn't it? All of you, whenever you entered the market, remember the first few days, the only ratio you looked at was P ratio. P ratio 20 से कम है तो इन्वेस्ट कर देंगे, नहीं तो नहीं करेंगे. 30 से कम है तो इन्वेस्ट कर देंगे. जबकि this is the last piece of the puzzle. सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट तो EPS की ग्रोथ है, अर्निंग्स की ग्रोथ है. क्लियर? समझ आया? Did you understand? Did you learn something new? Did you get clarity here? Very good. Now if I ask you, we will have to find companies where 25% growth is happening. 25% growth in what? 25% growth in what? EPS. Earnings. Profits should grow. Profits should grow, right? अब प्रॉफिट्स फ्यूचर में ग्रो करने चाहिए. फ्यूचर की ग्रोथ कैसे प्रेडिक्ट करें? कैसे प्रेडिक्ट करें भाई? बहुत मुश्किल है. पास्ट की तो पता है. This is how the company has been growing its profits in the past. That is very easy. That is very simple. But how do we predict future growth? Let us understand that. I will explain that through a compounding machine concept. Compounding machine concept. Remember that. all of us, we will start a business together. We will start a business together. All right. I will pick up some people from the class and we will start a business together. Through that business, we will understand everything. Mr. Girjapati, Mr. Vinayak, Iswar Prasad ji, Mr. Ashok, Mr. Vijay, Mr. Deepak, Bagga ji, Sandeep ji, Yash, अजय कुमार, गौरव सिंह जी. ऑल राइट, ठीक है. तो कुछ लोगों के साथ हमने we got together, we built a business. Let us say this is a very simple business. We started a vada pav stand in Mumbai. All right, we started a vada pav stall in Mumbai. Simple business. All of us got together and we invested 10,000 rupees. We invested 10,000 rupees initial capital into this business. And with that 10,000, we bought some raw material, we bought some potatoes, oil, whatever, bread, whatever was required for vada pav stall. On day one of the business, on the first day of the business, with whatever we got with 10,000, first day we made a revenue day one we got 20,000 rupees. 20,000 रुपए का रेवेन्यू हो गया. ठीक है. Now we have got 20,000 cash with us at the end of the day. 20,000 cash we got somehow. Let us say out of this 20,000, we took out all the people who started this business, we took out 5,000 rupees as our salary. 5,000 we got as our salary or dividends, whatever you call it. We got out of the business. The remaining 15,000 we reinvested into the business again. 15,000 got reinvested. Now listen to me carefully. If the efficiency of the business remains same, and if day one 10,000 got converted to 20,000, what will be my revenue on day two if 15,000 is reinvested? What will be the revenue on day two? 30,000. Simple. Day two becomes 30,000. Right? If out of the 30,000 I took out 10,000 and I reinvest 20,000 on day 3, what will be my revenue on day 3? What will be the revenue on day 3? 40,000. If you have understood this example, you have mostly understood how any business grows. You mostly understood how any business grows. It is not rocket science. It is very simple. Let me actually explain what are the factors that are leading to growth. Let's just understand. What are the factors that are leading to growth? The first factor is the term that I mentioned. I mentioned a term called efficiency. Efficiency. सब लोगों ने सुना हुआ efficiency? Efficiency क्या है? Efficiency is how good is the business to convert capital into profits, to convert capital into revenue. That is efficiency. Technical terms में efficiency is measured as ROCE, return on capital employed. ROCE, return on capital employed. कितना efficient business? How is this measured? Very simple to measure. Profits, कितना profit बना? Divided by capital into 100. Simple formula. Profit by capital into 100. Simple formula. What is the ROCE of our business? 100%. 100%. ROCE, return on capital employed. Right? That is the first important factor for growth. ROCE should be high. How much high should it be? ROCE कितना होना चाहिए? What should be the threshold? ये भी समझ लेते हैं. Let us understand that. See this capital. This capital does not come for free. There is a cost of capital also. So let us say in India, if you are taking a business loan to start this business, what is the rate of interest charged on a business loan in India? What's the rate of interest? What's the rate of interest? 10 to 12%. So 10 to 12% is my cost of capital in India. Cost of capital in India is this. Should my return on capital be higher than this? Should it be lower than this? Should my return on capital be higher or lower than this? Should be higher. Should be higher. Right? So my minimum ROC that I will keep is 15%. 15% is the minimum ROC that I'll keep. You will be surprised to know this, that 50% of the listed companies in India, 50% have their ROCE less than 10%. 50% companies ऐसी हैं listed. You tell me, are they investable worthy? Are they worthy of investment? If the return on capital is less than the cost of capital? No. That's the first important factor. The second important factor, which no one really talks about in India, the second factor is reinvestment rate. या फिर reinvestment ratio, RR. कितने लोगों ने इसका सुना है? How many people have heard of this reinvestment rate? Reinvestment rate is simple. How much cash was available in business? How much cash was available in the business? How much of that cash was invested in fixed assets? FA. Fixed assets is what? Machinery, equipment, plot of land, factory. This is all fixed assets. Plus, how much of it was invested in raw material or working capital changes. This is the simple formula that you should remember. It is not the actual formula, but I've given you simpler formula to track. Reinvestment rate. Reinvestment rate अगर अच्छा हो तो ही बिजनेस आएगी, तो ही ग्रोथ आएगी, तो ही ग्रोथ आएगी. Yes or no? Now it was, if you would have known this concept, no, reinvesting rate, अगर आपको पता होता तो आपके लिए 2019 में, even in 2019 before COVID, you would have identified the chemical sector. I started investing in the chemical companies like Deepak Nitrite, Alkyl Amines, Balaji Amines, all these companies, because the reinvestment rate was very high. It was very simple to identify that these companies are going to grow their profits. That is why they are opening newer factories left, right, and center. ठीक है? Is the concept clear? And this is just two ratios I've explained. आपको ये समझना है, see, every number, every metric matters. It moves something in the business. आप सब लोगों ने ROCE पहले से सुना हुआ है, सबने सुना हुआ है. ROCE करता क्या है?
PDF है.
How does it impact the business? That is also important to understand. Yes or no? Is a deeper understanding required or not? Very good. चलिए, दो रेशियोज तक पहुंचते पहुंचते ही कंपाउंडिंग मशीन समझाते समझाते it has taken a lot of time. Now I'm not going to spend, let's say, time on all the ratios. There are thousands of ratios that are there. I'm not going to spend time on that. I just wanted to give you some teaser also, that it is important to understand these ratios, understand the concepts, the frameworks also. All right. Let me also show you A lot of people are getting impatient in the chat. Let me also, and they are saying कि भाई AI पे चलो ना, AI के लिए आए थे हम, तुम क्या ज्ञान दे रहे हो? That is what people are saying in the session. ज्ञान क्यों दे रहे हो? AI दे दो. तो चलो मैं AI पे जाता हूँ. Immediately I'll shift to AI also and I'll give you a walkthrough. Before that, I will just quickly give you the portfolio or some of the successful companies that I was able to identify at the right time. I just wanted to show you and the performance of my portfolio also. This is, of course, this all is done manually. तो 2018 से मैं manually ही कर रहा था investment. ठीक है. So in 2019, you can see that I was able to identify Deepak, Alkyl, and Laurus. 2021, I was able to identify Dixon, Kaplan Point, Ram Ratna Wires. 2023-24, I was able to identify these companies like Max Healthcare, LT Foods, Gokul, Lumax, Gina Sikho. Some of these have given amazing returns. And overall, I've also mentioned how my capital has grown with time. Right? As I said, last 7-8 years, I've been able to clock roughly around 36%. ठीक है जी. Let's come to AI now. Now, when we started building AI in 2024, देखिए मेरी तो फेट ही यही है, क्योंकि मैं बाय चांस मेरी जर्नी मुझे यहाँ लेके आई कि मुझे एआई का भी इंटरेस्ट था. मैं पिछले 12-13 सालों से एआई पे ही काम कर रहा हूँ. नाउ दैट एआई केम टू द फोर फ्रंट, जब एआई फोर फ्रंट में आया, उस टाइम पे आई वाज आल्सो एन एक्टिव इन्वेस्टर. आई वाज आल्सो बिल्डिंग द फ्यूचर यूनिवर्सिटी. So then I saw an opportunity, I saw a chance to genuinely help all the retail investors with AI, right? और मेरे अप्रोच बहुत सिंपल थी, इजी थी कि बहुत जो भी मैं पढ़ाता हूं, जो भी मैं फ्रेमवर्क यूज करता हूं, how can everyone use that framework in a simple manner, right? How can everyone invest smartly by using AI? That was the objective. अब जैसे मेरा फ्रेमवर्क है, as I told all of you that there are multiple frameworks in the world. My framework is not unique, and also I have not developed my own framework. I have just learned concepts from these guys, right? So Warren Buffett practices value investing. Peter Lynch has a framework called growth investing, growth at reasonable price. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji used to invest in market trends. He used to pick up quality companies which are growing really fast. For example, Titan. Then Christopher Mayer is a very reputed author of a book called 100 Baggers. उन्होंने एक research publish की, which is a research of all the companies in the US which became 100x. So I have just copied stuff from these guys, from these legends. All right. When I started building the AI, as I told you, that our AI started doing much better than Perplexity, Claude, Gemini. Bana kaise wo? I just wanted to spend time on that. How did we actually build our own AI? First step that we did was training. Very, very important. We trained our AI to think and to behave and to do investment research like all the legends. We trained our AI to think like Warren Buffett, to think like Peter Lynch, to think like Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, to think like Christopher Mayer, 100 Baggers, to think like William O'Neill. कितने लोगों ने विलियम ओनील का नाम सुना है? कैंसलिम का नाम सुना हुआ है आपने? How many people have heard? The first step for us was we actually took all the research, all the publications, all the books, interviews, portfolio, shareholding letters that are available of Warren Buffett, and we trained our AI on that. We asked our AI to emulate, to duplicate the thinking process of Warren Buffett, to copy the thinking process of Warren Buffett. तो पहले तो इन पे ट्रेन किया, फिर पैरेलली पीटर लिंच पे ट्रेन कर दिया, पैरेलली इन पांचों के एआई मॉडल्स बना लिए, थिंकिंग एआई मॉडल्स. First step was training. ट्रेनिंग, रिगरस फाइन ट्यूनिंग, पहला ये किया. सेकंड, फिर उसके बाद सेकंड स्टेप, वी गॉट access to all the market data, 360 degree market data. थ्री सिक्सटी डिग्री मार्केट डेटा, जिसके अंदर फंडामेंटल्स भी हैं, टेक्निकल्स भी हैं. फंडामेंटल्स के अंदर सब कुछ, सारी एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स पिछले 10 साल की, all the ratios, all the metrics, all the credit rating reports, analyst rating reports, quarterly reports, sub metrics, sub news also, sentiments also, everything got fetched into this. Technicals also, price, charts, everything got fetched. We are using 15 different API sources, 15 different API sources से data source किया live. ठीक है, ट्रेन किया, मार्केट डेटा लेके आए, और फिर जो भी मार्केट डेटा लेके आए फॉर ऑल द कंपनीज, 6,000 कंपनीज, वी आस्क्ड आवर एआई टू स्कोर द कंपनीज. वी डिड स्कोरिंग ऑफ ईच कंपनी, एंड ऑलवेज ऑन स्कोरिंग. इसका क्या मतलब है? It keeps on absorbing data. It keeps on doing the evaluation of all companies forever, always on. Just like we are doing the class here, the AI is running. It is analyzing all the businesses, absorbing all the data, analyzing all the businesses. Always on. Scoring is done on long-term investment potential. Potential क्या है? कितनी अच्छी कंपनी है? From the perspective of Warren Buffett, scoring is done. From the perspective of Peter Lynch, scoring is done. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, scoring is done. Simple. Also, not only individually companies analyzed, it is also compared with all the peers, compared with all other companies. कि उसको scoring इतनी मिली है तो इसको scoring इतनी देनी है. ठीक है, अब मुझे आप बताइए, इस स्कोरिंग में अगर कोई ऐसी कंपनीज निकल के आती हैं, if we find some companies which have got a very good score from multiple frameworks, from multiple perspectives. Warren Buffett will look at from a value perspective. Peter Lynch will look at from a growth perspective. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala will look at from a quality perspective. If all of them given a A+ score, then is it a good company? Is it a good company? Right? The chances are very, very high, right? That it is an amazing company. It is going to grow a lot, right? So that's the approach. Scoring is done, and along with the scoring, rationale is also given. Rationale is also given. Reasoning is also given. Detailed, deep research is given, so that it helps you build conviction. I will show you also, तो आपको देख के ज्यादा समझ आ जाएगा. Conviction के लिए reasoning is given, rationale is given, right? ये सब होने के बाद हमारा एक स्टेप अटक जाता है. एक स्टेप, let's say we find a company, we find a good company, we build conviction in that. Does that mean that company will grow from here, from today, like this? Does that mean the price will go like this? Yes or no? No. The price most likely will grow like this, will go like this. Yes? Yes? Correct? Now, entry exit also becomes a problem. Even in a great company, I'll have to decide the right time to enter, the right time to exit. So apart from the fundamental AI engine that we created, we also created a technical tool, an AI technical tool, an AI technical indicator, AI indicator, which tells you the right time to enter, the right time to exit, exactly the right time to enter, exactly the right time to exit. It tells you when is the good company going to enter the bullish phase, the bullish trend, and when has it entered the bearish trend. Exactly. तो आपको क्या करना है, इसके साथ हम एंट्री लेंगे यहाँ पे एग्जिट ले लेंगे, फिर यहाँ पे, फिर एग्जिट ले लेंगे, फिर एंट्री लेंगे यहाँ पे, एग्जिट यहाँ पे ले लेंगे। ऐसे करते करते एटलीस्ट वी विल आइडेंटिफाई द दिस ट्रेंड आल्सो वी विल आइडेंटिफाई। How amazing is that? The AI indicator will analyze the entire chart and it will exactly tell you when is it turned bullish. This is also solved. So not only is the company discovery solved, not only is the conviction solved, the entry exit is solved. Also, iske baad bhi, some people who want to hold portfolio is also solved. Portfolio is also solved. Discovery is solved, conviction is solved, entry exit is solved, portfolio is also solved. चारों चीजें सॉल्व हो गई, चारों। ठीक है, let me just show you now. Are you guys excited for the walkthrough? Are you guys excited for the walkthrough? Let me show you the product, the platform. People are already asking, is it like swing trading? आप इसको मोमेंटम इन्वेस्टिंग बोलिए, आप इसको स्विंग ट्रेडिंग बोल लीजिए, स्विंग ट्रेडिंग भी बोल सकते हैं। देखिए, अगर आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ एआई टूल यूज कर रहे हैं तो उसको ज्यादा स्विंग ट्रेडिंग बोल लीजिए। एआई टेक्निकल इंडिकेटर यूज कर रहे हैं तो इट कैन बी कॉल्ड स्विंग ट्रेडिंग। इफ यू आर आल्सो क्लबिंग दैट with fundamental quality, fundamental growth, it could be called momentum investing. So basically you are doing momentum, tracking momentum in good companies, in great companies, and trying to capture the big trend that might come. See, any company, any multi-bagger company also, the company that has to deliver 10x, 20x, 50x, that will have large trends, big trends, yes or no? So it will be get hold of these big trends, 10x, 20x, 50x, both in investing and in swing trading. You can create a long-term portfolio as well, and you can do momentum investing. Right? Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible to all of you? Please confirm in the chat if it is visible. Very good. So first of all, try to imagine that Warren Buffett, Peter Lynch, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, they are helping you out. They are doing research for you on your behalf all the time. Basically, you have the power of these as your personal financial assistant. Right? How amazing is that? How cool is that? And we have a load of other features also. I'm not going to give you a, let's say, feature by feature explanation, but I'm going to show you the product. Before I show you the product, before I show you the platform, I want to make it clear that the objective for us was we would want to make a simple, clean, and easy platform for all of you. Why? Because a lot of people, how many of you, whenever you do investing, whenever you do trading, you always get scared when you look at any platform. When you go to Screener, there are 1,000 ratios. When you go to TradingView, there's so many complicated charts. You always get scared. बताइए कितने लोग हैं आप में से ऐसे? You get scared because there are so many numbers, so many metrics, so many ratios. So we wanted to make the platform very beginner friendly, very simple, clean, so that all of you can do investing research while, let's say, being in your comfort zone in an easy way. So I would want all of you to judge on that and give me a feedback whether it looks simple, clean, and easy or not, right? So I'm going to show you the platform, and this is all for everyone. This is presenting to you Super Investing AI, India's first most powerful AI platform, AI investing research platform. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do discovery of stocks through AI. Discovery of stocks. ठीक है, डिस्कवरी कैसे करेंगे? देखिए, एक तो हमने AI chat का ऑप्शन दिया है. AI chat में भी a lot of people feel the problem that they don't know what to ask. You don't even know what prompt to ask, what question to ask, right? How many people face this problem? You don't even know what question to ask, which question to ask. So what we have done is we have trained our AI to suggest you prompts, to give you prompts, to give you the right prompts also. So we have created an entire library of AI prompts. This prompts library is also there. Right? Hospital industry sector, hospital industry. So I've just clicked on the prompt, and the super investing AI will start thinking, and it will start filtering some stocks, it will start analyzing the sector. It will do deep research of the sector and will present you the answer within a minute. It takes time because it is not trained to give you quick answer. It is trained to give you right answer. See this? It is first explaining me how hospital makes money, what are the key operational metrics. Average revenue per occupied bed is one of the metrics, average length of stay, primary revenue equation, how the dynamics work, etc., etc. Right? Now, once I understand the sector, then I can maybe basically ask it to analyze a few companies which are given as follow-up prompts. So now I can ask it to analyze Max Healthcare versus Narayana Health. Mr. Prashant is saying, unable to see. The screen is blank. Please help. Is everyone able to see the screen? So while he's thinking, let me show you the other feature also. We will get the answer. We'll be able to go to the answer in the history as well. So isko sochne dete hain. Let's explore other features also. So let me take you to the home page again. There will be some suggestions of prompts which are directly of some companies as well. For example, it has given a prompt to analyze Shri Piston. So let me just click on that. This is a company which it has suggested. The AI only has suggested analyze Shri Piston. इसका देखते हैं कि पुराने का रिजल्ट आया है नहीं. Let me ask it to analyze again. Yeah, so it has analyzed Shri Piston and it has given a score of 72. Now what is this score? I will explain. 72 है क्या वो भी मैं आपको समझा दूंगा. It has given me an explanation of the business also. It is Shriram Pistons and Rings. It has given me some metrics, some business quality, capital efficiency, balance sheet resilience, key takeaway for investors. अब डिस्कवरी चार्ट के थ्रू करके उसके बाद मुझे कन्विक्शन बिल्डिंग करनी है. I'll have to do conviction building, right? So what I will do is I will click on view deep research. Is the button visible? View deep research. Is it visible to everyone? If I click on this, this is where the magic happens. This is where the magic happens. Is everyone able to see this? See, for SPR Auto Technologies, Sri Piston, multiple score has been given by these AI personas. Multiple score has been given. 20 by anyone, any persona. This company so overall the score is really, really good across the 4 personas. What does that tell you about the company? Look at from different perspectives, the company is still good. What does that tell you about the company? What does that tell you about the company? बताइए सर, चैट में बताइए. If all the 4 AI models have given a thumbs up, what does that mean? It is fundamentally it is a very good company. It is investable worthy. ठीक है, अब ये स्कोर कैसे आया जानना है मुझे. हाउ डज द स्कोर कम? यू सिंपली क्लिक ऑन द कार्ड and there will be a detailed explanation of analyze. It is not simple ways to analyze a business, right? You can also look at the different news that has been coming for the company. Also, all news is immediately ingested and it is analyzed. All the new data that comes, it is immediately analyzed. It is also compared with similar stocks in the industry. उनका कितना स्कोर है वो भी आप देख सकते हैं. How often this score gets revised? Whenever a new data comes for any company, the score gets revised. Whenever a major update is there for any company. अच्छा, this company has also featured into multiple baskets. Now, what are these baskets? मैं एक बार दोबारा जाता हूं चैट पे. देखिए, कंपनीज ढूंढने का, डिस्कवर करने का एक तरीका इज चैट. One way is chat. The other way, a very simple way to discover great businesses is baskets. What are baskets? Baskets are pre-curated, already curated baskets by AI. AI only has curated a list of stocks as per a theme. एक theme के basis पे they have curated baskets. For example, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala curated a list of interesting stocks which are small cap companies. And this basket from 30th of November, it went live. 30th November, it went live. Nifty has been down 7%. This basket has been up 13%. This is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. This is real forward testing market performance, live market performance. You can see the list of companies that it has picked up. And these companies also get, this basket also gets rebalanced. So the last rebalance happened on 26th of July. Automatically AI is curating these baskets, maintaining these baskets. So this is also one way to discover great stocks. For example, there's a basket created by the theme large order books. और सारे AI personas ने मिलके इस basket को बनाया, maintain किया. It went live on 1st of February. Since 1st of February, it is up 10%, whereas the market is down 4%. तो डिस्कवरी हो गई. राइट? यहां से भी आप किसी भी इंटरेस्टिंग कंपनी में चले जाइए. Clear or not clear? Yes or no? What is rebalancing? Rebalancing मतलब बास्केट खुद ही चेंज होगी ना. स्टॉक कोई खराब हो गया तो हटा देना है, अच्छा हो गया तो डाल देना है. दिस इज द सेकेंड वे टू डू डिस्कवरी. अच्छा, सुरेश कुमार जी पूछ रहे हैं फ्रेश बाय कैसे पता चलेगा. एंट्री एग्जिट पे तो मैं आऊंगा. अभी तो सिर्फ डिस्कवरी सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, कन्विक्शन सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, एक तरीका और है डिस्कवरी करने का. देयर इज वन मोर वे. वी हैव नाउ मेड द ऑप्शन टू watch stacks. Now, what are stacks? Stacks are simple 30 seconds to 1 minute simply absorb videos that we have curated to explain you about any particular sector, to explain you about any particular company. So you find good companies, find good sectors and the knowledge related to it directly through stacks. For example, पूरी कंपनी का एक वीडियो बनाया है शाफलर एआई एनालिसिस का, शाफलर एआई का. फिर डिक्सॉन कंपनी को एनालाइज किया है, 30 सेकंड्स की वीडियो है, 1 मिनट की डीप एनालिसिस ऑफ डिक्सॉन. यू कैन डू डीप एनालिसिस ऑफ डिक्सॉन. ठीक है, स्टैक्स इज वन वे टू डू डिस्कवरी. ठीक है, ये हो गया, कन्विक्शन बिल्डिंग हो गया, डिस्कवरी हो गया. उसके बाद क्या रहता है? एंट्री एग्जिट एंड पोर्टफोलियो. Entry exit पे मैं आऊंगा, I will come to entry exit, but before that, we have now launched the entire portfolio management option also in Super Investing AI. Portfolio management, automatic portfolio management also using AI. Let's look at that. You can sync your entire portfolio using any of the brokers that are mentioned. Any of the brokers, you can upload manually as well. Sync your portfolio and analyze your entire portfolio with Super Investing AI. Analyze your entire portfolio with Super Investing AI. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? How cool is that? You can have a look at my portfolio as well here. You can have a look at my portfolio as well. How amazing is this? You can analyze your entire portfolio just by simple click. आपको वो पूरा ऑटो पायलट मैनेजमेंट मिल जाएगा. पोर्टफोलियो में आपको बताएगा what are the risks, where do you want to add more, where do you want to, let's say, reduce, what should happen to your portfolio. It will exactly tell you. Yes, this is my personal portfolio, Mr. Girjapati. Mr. Sajid ji saying portfolio दिखा दीजिए. दिखा देता हूं जी. क्लियर? जैसे कि मैं आपको एक कंपनी फ्रॉम माय पोर्टफोलियो में दिखाता हूं, कैप्लिन पॉइंट. Kaplan Point. See this? This company has got a very, very good score across different personas. Very, very fundamentally very strong company. I have been holding this company since last 3-4 years. Kaplan Point. In fact, last 5 years. 2021 is when I added. ठीक है? समझ आया? समझ आया? अच्छा, कितने लोग सो गए हैं, कितने लोग जाग रहे हैं? How many people are awake? How many people have already slept off? Great. Discovery done, conviction building done. I wanted to ask you a question that I mentioned in the start. Is AI now giving you conviction to invest in any company? I wanted to ask this question. Mr. Senthil is asking, is this recorded video or live? This is live, sir. I can see all your messages. It is 8:45 p.m. Conviction building हो गया. Portfolio management भी हो गया. Only one thing is left. Only and only one thing is left, which is entry and exit. Right entry, right exit. How do we identify bullish trend? Let us now see that as well. For that, we created a AI technical indicator. An AI technical indicator which basically analyzes the entire chart. We build this on top of trading view. Trading view में already charts खुलते हैं. उसके ऊपर we build this. Right? Let me just show you. Let me show you. Let me open any chart here. So I've opened Kaplan Point here, the company that I hold also. See this? I've opened the daily chart of Kaplan Point. This is a AI technical indicator that we have created. This technical indicator is called Super AI Magic Trend Indicator. Super AI Magic Trend Indicator. Now, what this does is, this analyzes the entire chart. This analyzes different momentum indicators, and eventually it gives a score. It gives one score on every candle, right? Wherever it is turning bullish, it is giving me above 7. Above 7, it means it has turned bullish. Below 4, it means it has turned bearish. Below 4, it has turned bearish. What I need to do is, I need to enter at the start of the bullish trend. Whenever the bullish trend is starting, I need to exit whenever the bearish trend is starting. ठीक है? ये हमने ट्रेन किया है डेली टाइम फ्रेम पे, but it also works across time frames. 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, it works. It also works across asset classes, across stocks, across index, across commodities, forex, any asset class. Now let me show you. If you would have entered in Kaplan Point on 10th of April, it gave the bullish signal, 7. And you would have held till, let's say, 24th of July. 24th of July, it turned bearish. In 3 months, you would have earned 48%. 3 months, you would have earned 48%. How interesting is that? How amazing is that? Let me now show you Shri Piston. That's the company that we analyzed. Shri Piston. Shri Piston dekh lete hain. On the daily chart. See this? Shri Piston gave bullish signal on 11th of June. 11th of June से लेके अभी तक it is still bullish. 11th of June से लेके अभी तक in 2 months it has given 25% returns. 25% returns. 25% returns. And this thing is also integrated with our platform. It's also integrated with Super Investing AI. Let me show you. If you enter any company into your watch list, in the watch list, you can track the magic trend score. The magic trend score you can track. All the trend score you will be able to track for each stock, for each company. For each company. Right? अब न्यू एंट्री कहां लेनी है, न्यू एग्जिट कहां लेनी है, कैसे कैसे पता चलेगा कि किसमें ट्रेंड आ गया, दैट इज ऑल्सो क्वेश्चन. दैट्स ऑल्सो क्वेश्चन. यस और नो? नई एंट्री कहां लेंगे? फॉर दैट वी क्रिएटेड अनदर डैशबोर्ड. We created another dashboard for you to track. This dashboard is also given to track what are the companies which are top bullish right now. Which are top bullish right now. Is my dashboard visible to all of you? See this? Divis Labs के अंदर 9th of July को सिग्नल आया बुलिश का. 9th of July को बुलिश का सिग्नल आया. It has been 17 days. Since 9th of July, it has already moved 20%. 20% it has already moved. Titan turned bullish on 30th of June. Since 30th of June, it has already moved 14%. 14%. Laurus Labs started the bullish trend on 10th of July. Since 10th of July, it has moved 20%. How amazing is this? Then it also tells me what are the stocks, which are the stocks which has just now turned bullish. Bajaj Finance has turned bullish on the last candle. So this is the fresh entry. Trend has just started. You can club this with the Super Investing AI score, fundamentally good stocks, enter when the trend is turning bullish, exit when it has turned bearish. Entry exit also solved. Entry exit also solved. And the trend works, the bullish trend indicator, the magic trend indicator works everywhere. Let me in fact show you. Let me show you on Nifty in fact. The magic trend indicator works on Nifty as well. Let me show you. Let me show you Nifty also. Is the screen visible? I will select 15 minutes for your reference. 15 minutes select कर देता हूं. Can you look at the win rate of this indicator on Nifty on 15-minute chart? Can you look at the win rate? ऊपर एक बॉक्स बनाया है जहां पे इस चार्ट का विन रेट भी मेंशन्ड है. What is the win rate of this indicator on Nifty? What's the win rate? 71%. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that amazing? Is that good? Is that bad? Is that amazing? Acha, Mr. P. Jain is asking, do we need to have TradingView subscription for this? No. You can use this on free TradingView account as well. Please show Bajaj Finance chart. दिखा देते हैं जी. अच्छा, बजाज फाइनेंस इसलिए पूछ रहे हैं क्योंकि बजाज फाइनेंस में पिछले ही दिन एंट्री आई है। ये देखिए, बजाज फाइनेंस 9 बुलिश दिखा रहा है। ठीक है, अमेजिंग। Is the entry exit also solved now? Is the entry exit also solved now? Solved now? Now, how many of you, apart from accessing all this, we will give you the access for all this. Apart from getting access to all this, would also want guidance, would also want hand holding, would also want learning on how to use this. I know all of you would want to use the platform, all of you would want to use the indicator, all of you would want to use the scanner. But would you also want the guidance? Would you also want the hand holding? Would you also want the learning apart from this? So what we are doing is we have tied up with Economic Times. Economic Times is a trusted brand in India. They have come together with us to launch this exclusive Economic Times learning package, AI investing package. Economic Times is delivering this with super investing AI. What we have done is we have created an extremely good package for all of you, so that you get the learning, you get the platform, and all of you can curate a very smart portfolio for winning in the market over the longer run, right? So what we are doing is we're giving that package to you. What you get in this package is all of you who would want access. We are giving a long-term subscription. We are giving a 3-year subscription, at a discounted price of Super Investing AI. Plus, we are also giving a 60 hours of recorded content, to all of you who would want this. 60 hours of recorded content, where I've covered scrap framework, where I've covered investing principles in detail. We are also giving you lifetime access to community, the multi-bagger alumni community. Plus, regular Ask Me Anything doubt clearing sessions are also there. On 22nd and 23rd of August, I am also going live for a 16 hours long course. 22nd, 23rd August, Saturday, Sunday, I'm coming live for all the subscribers of ET package. This is the ET package that I'm telling you. I'm going to teach live also on 22nd, 23rd August. Keeping Super Investing AI as the base, I'm going to tell you how to create an amazing portfolio in these 2 days. Plus, anyone who subscribes in this class, in this session, the first 100 folks who are going to subscribe are also going to get lifetime access to the trend indicator and the dashboard, lifetime access to the magic trend indicator and the dashboard that I just showed you, the scanner that I just showed you. First 100 people only. In totality, all of you get this. You can take a screenshot of this. This is the worth of the entire package. You are not going to pay this. You are going to get a much discounted price. So discounted price क्या है मैं आपको दिखा देता हूं. But first of all, take a screenshot of this. This is what you get in the entire package. The entire package is 3-year premium subscription, unlimited tokens. There is no token limitation. Unlimited tokens are going to be there. 16 hours of class is going to be there. 60 hours of on-demand recording is there. Lifetime access to Magic Trend Indicator, lifetime access to Trend Indicator Scanner, and the community and the RMXS. Anyone who is above the age of 40, anyone who is above the age of 50 will need special assistance. We will guide them. We will have a dedicated relationship manager who will guide them use the platform, who will guide them use the trading view also. तो हर चीज की आपको प्रॉपर गाइडेंस, प्रॉपर हैंड होल्डिंग भी मिलेगी, राइट? Proper guidance, proper hand holding will also be given. So the entire package is worth rupees 1 lakh, but with Economic Times, we have come together to deliver this at an extremely discounted price, at a special price of 19,999. 19,999 का प्राइस है। आपको एक बटन दिखा दिया जाएगा, या you will get a button in front of you. You need to pay using that button. Only the first 100 slots, only the first 100 slots get the benefit of lifetime subscription, lifetime access to